What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 4SP Chapter 76 Yan Mo, who amazed the audience. That is because the captain plans to conduct a personal assessment on you. Facing Ling Yun's question, Hiyori quickly revealed the answer. Isn't it the chief's personal assessment? Ling Yun's mood at this moment became very complicated in an instant. There are surprises, and even a glimmer of expectation. In his memory, throughout Go Day 13, there were not many assessments involving the captain. Among them, the most impressive one should be the so-called captain assessment. Shinigami of Go Day 13 wants to be promoted to the captain of each team. There are 3 ways to choose. One of them is to become the new captain after passing a specific captain assessment under the witness of the chief captain and the other 3 captains. Thinking of this, Ling Yun couldn't help but have a bold idea. Could he be promoted to captain? I'm thinking about shit. Ling Yun shook his head self-deprecatingly, and quickly denied the idea. As a freshman, he was directly promoted to Captain Shinigami. This kind of miraculous triple jump is unique in the history of Soul Society. Besides, with the captain's conservative personality, he would definitely not allow such a thing to happen. And the 840 side of the 46 room will definitely try to stop it. So it should be something else. After pondering for a moment, Ling Yun asked quickly, Hiyori, what kind of assessment is it? The captain actually needs to come forward in person. You didn't expect that, did you? Hiyori smiled mysteriously. Ling Yun, considering your outstanding performance in field training. After the report from the high level of the college, you have obtained the qualification to extract graduation, and the captain will be responsible for evaluating you. Hiyori's words. Immediately, Ling Yun was extremely surprised. Graduating early? Graduating so soon? Ling Yun finally regained his composure, and his mood calmed down a little. In fact, this result, although unexpected, is actually reasonable. After all, the goal set at the beginning was a 1-year deadline. 1 year at the latest, half a year at the earliest, to graduate from the Junyang Spiritual Academy with record-breaking results. This is the goal Ling Yun set for himself. Now it seems that this goal has not only been achieved, but also a lot of time ahead of schedule. Well, you should be confident, right? Hiyori looked at Ling Yun with a gratified gaze and encouraged. Ling Yun, you must seize this opportunity. The appreciation from the captain is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Of course I know this, Mr. Hiyori, you can rest assured. Ling Yun nodded with confidence. Currently, he has reached the threshold of high-level Kaido. After Rukongai and his party, Zanpakutō Yama was awakened smoothly, and all aspects of strength reached a perfect balance. Without any exaggeration. With Ling Yun's current strength, even facing Shinigami at the vice-captain level, not only do they have the power to fight, but they are even sure to defeat the opponent. This is the increase in combat power brought about by the skill upgrade. That's good. I look forward to your outstanding performance in the assessment later. Hiyori smiled knowingly, and then led the way, and the two arrived at their destination soon. Soon after, inside the Junyang Ling Yun Academy, a hidden venue. Arrive. The senior management of the academy, as well as the captain, have already arrived inside and waited. Hiyori and Ling Yun rent a house. After stepping into the door of the house, Ling Yun immediately found the figure of the captain in the crowd. That seemingly old body exudes a strong aura, like a sleeping volcano, showing signs of erupting at any time. Just breathing can affect the air. This is the power of the captain. Captain. After coming to the center of the room, Hiyori suddenly became cautious when facing the old man Yamamoto. Has someone already brought it? Captain Wei, BBBE's strict gaze skipped over Hiyori's body and stayed on Ling Yun's body. After just a few glances, the captain nodded in satisfaction. Your name is Ling Yun, right? Your situation is better than I imagined. No wonder you have excellent combat power. Captain. Ling Yun and the old man looked at each other. If it were any other Shinigami, even the veteran captain of 100 years, he could still remain calm. But facing the captain directly, the strongest Shinigami in the millennium, Ling Yun will also have a little restraint. The power of Captain Yamamoto has become a symbol of the entire Soul Society for 2,000 years. Once this old man gets angry, both the Jingling Court and the Soul Society will be completely destroyed. No one dared to offend the captain easily, not even Yhwach, the king of the Quincy, dared to lead the Invisible Empire to attack the Soul Society without depriving Bankai. The strength of the old man can be seen Madara, of course, in addition to the captain. There were also senior officials from other colleges present. It's just that compared to the old man, no matter how high the position is, the other people seem a bit bleak at the moment. Ling Yun, it is said that you were in the 80th block, and you once had a group fight with Jillian? The captain asked in a deep voice. That's right, besides the Jillian group, there are also 2 high-ranking Jillians. Ling Yun responded truthfully. Although both are Jillian, there are also differences. The subordinate officers appeared that day. Obviously they have touched the edge of evolution. They are only 1 step away from Ajukas. I see. It is said that you have awakened Zanpakutō? The captain shifted his gaze to Ling Yun's girdle. About this assessment, the actual content is very simple, just show your Zanpakutō ability in front of everyone present. The captain quickly got to the point. Demonstrate the power of Zanpakutō? Ling Yun thought carefully for a moment, then nodded confidently. With Yan Mo's full attribute ability, it is easy to pass the assessment test. Of course. He also deliberately kept a little careful thought. Facing everyone's eyes, Ling Yun slowly took out the Zanpakutō from the girdle position. Shine. The sword light flickered, and the blade was bright. Yan Mo in his normal state alone showed a different side. Captain, and everyone, my Zanpakutō name is Yan Mo. Ling Yun held Zanpakutō with his backhand, and Ryotsu radiated from his body. Immediately afterwards, the Zanpakutō liberation language sounded. Used by the evil god, Wei Wu has exhausted his body. Yan Mo dark scythe. Ling Yun's words were resounding. The Zanpakutō in the hand, with the sound of the sound, emits a dark light. Light is Shikai's moment. Yan Mo has already amazed the audience. Chapter 77 Facing everyone's eyes, Ling Yun spoke the Shikai language of Zanpakutō. Used by the evil god, Wei Wu has exhausted his body. Yan Mo dark scythe. Ling Yun's words were resounding. The Zanpakutō in his hand emitted a dark light as the sound sounded. Clatter. A sudden scene immediately attracted everyone's attention. This is. Captain Yamamoto's meticulous old face had a rare expression change because of Shikai of Yan Mo's dark sickle. His eyes seemed to shoot out a ray of light, and he kept watching Yan Mo, who was flickering with black light. Relying on Ryotsu's perception, the captain clearly sensed that there are many kinds of fluctuations inside Yan Mo. And at this time, the Zanpakutō in Ling Yun's hand gradually revealed its true form as the black light dissipated. It was a huge sickle with black and white patterns all over the body, the end of the handle was dark red, and the blade was like a crescent moon, blooming a dazzling white light. This deadly Shinigami sickle, the overall appearance of Haki is mighty, accompanied by a mysterious atmosphere. The only full attribute Zanpakutō, Yan Mo dark scythe. This is the Department of Physics Zanpakutō, right? Looking at the gigantic Yan Mo, and even Hiyori on the side, his first reaction was to exclaim. This Shinigami sickle is filled with a killing spirit, making Ling Yun instantly transform into a deadly Shinigami. What a special fluctuation. Apart from the chief captain, other high-ranking college officials expressed their emotions one after another. From Yan Mo, they sensed an obviously fierce aura and felt like facing the power of evil gods. Yan Mo's liberation immediately amazed the audience. Captain, this is my Zanpakutō Yan Mo. Ling Yun raised the death scythe with one hand, its unique dark tone, and the white student's uniform formed a clear visual contrast. As a result, Ling Yun's original elegant temperament has a special evil spirit. Invisibly adds charm. Yan Mo, it's a very unique name, but it shouldn't be a Zanpakutō of the physics department, right? Captain Yamamoto denied everyone's conjecture. The captain is right. Yan Mo is only outwardly similar to Zanpakutō of the physics department. Ling Yun carried the death scythe on his shoulders and deliberately injected Ryotsu into it. Actually, it's a thunder Zanpakutō. Following Ling Yun's words, Yan Mo's black sickle surface suddenly burst into intense light. Crackling. The subtle lightning arc visible to the naked eye appeared with the flickering light, instantly illuminating the entire room. Thunder flashes, deafening. Yan Mo showed amazing power of thunder. Thunder Zanpakutō? It's really rare. In Gode 13, thunder is very rare. The strongest Zanpakutō should be Sasaki's vice captain Yan Rimaru? The other Shinigami whispered to each other. Through Ling Yun's deliberate display, they have a more intuitive understanding of Yan Mo. Ever since, the Thunder Department was hammered. Ling Yun used this opportunity to perfectly deceive everyone. Thunder is Zanpakutō. Only the commander-in-chief didn't change his face. There was a strange glow in the dark and deep eyes, as if he was thinking about something. Shouldn't it be hidden from the captain? In fact, Ling Yun has already made preparations. In case the captain exposes it face to face, he also has other reasons to respond. But seeing the old man's eyes, Ling Yun still felt nervous, and he didn't want any extra complications or other accidents to happen. The atmosphere suddenly became a little delicate. The captain and Ling Yun looked at each other, as if some kind of game was going on. Fortunately, the old man finally chose to ignore it. Although there are some clues, but the captain did not want, but directly skipped this topic. Ling Yun, Thunder Zanpakutō, belongs to that rare category where you have unlimited potential and room to grow. The chief captain didn't seem to be stingy with his praise. Through Yan Mo's Shikai, he has a new understanding of Ling Yun's strength. For this rising star, with the old man's vicious eyes, he naturally has high expectations. Call. It seems that the old man is not as strict as the legend. Ling Yun broke into a cold sweat, silently sighing inwardly. The subtext of the captain's words is obvious, he has already passed the assessment. The captain's reputation is too high. Thanks to the mentor Hiyori and the cultivation of the senior management of the college, I can make the current progress. Ling Yun responded humbly. Ask for flowers. From this moment today, you will successfully graduate and become a reserve member of Gode 13 until you decide which team to join. The captain's next words once again caused a sensation in the audience. I still have the right to choose the team. Ling Yun was also surprised. Under normal circumstances, any graduate Mao students will go through a new round of screening. There is no right to choose, and they can only wait passively, waiting for the selection of Captain Shinigami, or the way of random distribution, and finally they can join good at 13 smoothly. In the past, there were only a handful of people like Ling Yun who had the right to choose actively. Oh, it can be seen how much the old man appreciates him. That's right, from the first team to the 13th team, you can choose a team at will, and I will greet the captain afterwards. The captain gave an affirmative answer. I understand. Ling Yun's eyes burst into light. Different teams, different responsibilities, different growth. For a newcomer Shinigami, the choice of a fan team is of great significance, and if you are lucky, you can even change your fate. Of course. Ling Yun has no worries in this regard at all. The only thing he needs to consider is what kind of benefits the fan team he will choose to join will bring him, or the increase in strength. The first team is undoubtedly the best choice, but if I face the captain directly, my ability may cause unnecessary trouble. The second team is completely unnecessary. The third team doesn't seem to have any special features. As for the fourth team. When it was the fourth team's turn, Ling Yun's eyes lit up instantly. Although the fourth squad of Gote is mainly responsible for medical treatment and logistics, it is not much linked to combat. However, the captain of the fourth team has a unique and unprecedented strength. First generation Kenpachi. This unknown title is enough to prove Sister Hua's strength. It is no exaggeration to say that she is the most powerful captain besides the general captain and Aizen. Among them, what attracted Ling Yun the most was Sister Hua's 8,000 streams of kendo. It was with this in mind that he came up with the idea to become the face value of the fourth team. Chapter 78 First Generation Kenpachi, Unohana Retsu. 8,000 streams of swordsmanship. Unohana Retsu's self-created kendo, which combines all schools in the world, combines the essence of various sword skills, and the special evil spirit formed by continuous killing for thousands of years. In terms of power and lethality, Yachinryu Kendo is impeccable. Even Sister Hua's Zanpakutō, Shikai is not outstanding in the state, and is more inclined to the healing department. But once you use Yachi-Ryu Kendo, you will have extremely powerful power. This is the unique Yachi-Ryu Kendo. It is precisely because of this that Ling Yun pays special attention to the fourth team. Of course, there is another reason besides this, and that is the healing technique that Team 4 is best at. The so-called healing art, in other words, is Shinigami's Kaido. Kaido, similar to Hado and Bakudo, is another branch of Kido, which also consumes Ryotsu to play a specific healing role in August 17th. Under normal circumstances, only the members of the fourth squad are good at healing and using Kaido. Of course, there are exceptions. A few Shinigami from other teams can also use Kaido, but the difference is only the difference in proficiency. Another point that Ling Yun values is the Kaido of the fourth team. Although the Kaido of ordinary soldiers has medical effects, there is still a limit in general. At most, it can heal injuries and cannot really bring the dead back to life. But, don't forget that Ling Yun has unlimited skill points. As long as you learn Kaido and upgrade it to the full level, you will definitely awaken unexpected talents. At that time, Kaido's power will not only be as simple as healing, it may reach an extremely heaven-defying level. Yachi-Ryu Kendo, and full-level Kaido. These two brand new abilities are the reasons that drive Ling Yun to make a choice, hoping to join the fourth team. Ling Yun. Have you thought it through? While Ling Yun was thinking, the captain did not urge him, but gave him enough time. No matter who it is inevitable that they will be a little elated when they suddenly encounter this surprise. This is also a matter of reason. Although the old man is old-fashioned, he can understand it. Captain, I've thought it through. Ling Yun quickly came back to his senses. Ling Yun, it should be the second team, or the 11th team, or the 12th team, right? Hiyori, who stood aside, thought she was sure, and answered Ling Yun first. These three teams, in Hiyori's view, all have reasons for choosing. If nothing else, it should be the final destination. However, in this world, there will always be accidents and unexpected ones. Ling Yun quickly expressed his choice. Captain, I thought about it carefully just now, and I still hope to join the fourth team. What? Squad 4? The whole house suddenly exploded. Even the captain did not guess the result. The choice of Squad 4 was really too unexpected, and I couldn't think of the slightest possibility in advance. Ling Yun, please stop joking. Hiyori was the first to express dissatisfaction. You must be very clear about the occupation of the fourth team. This kind of joke is not funny. Hiyori glared viciously. In her opinion, Ling Yun's decision was purely unreasonable. Tangtang Mao's first genius actually ran to the fourth team to be a logistics medical team member? Are you King kidding me? Ling Yun, are you sure? The fourth team is the medical team. Even the head captain didn't understand, and deliberately asked again. I've thought about it very clearly, I hope to join the fourth team. Ling Yun responded unswervingly. For the sake of full-level Kaido, for Yachi-Ryu Kendo, he will never change his mind easily. Silence. Soundless silence. The whole room fell into a sudden silence. Everyone had puzzled expressions on their faces, unable to understand Ling Yun's decision. Even in their opinion, Ling Yun's decision is a bit reckless. Okay, I understand. Since you have made a decision, the old man will respect your idea. Although the chief captain felt sorry, he didn't force it too much. Everyone has their own aspirations and is wonderful. It's normal for everyone to have different choices. After returning to the team building, I will let someone inform Unohana Retsu that you can report to the 4th team tomorrow. With the promise of the captain, the matter was settled. In this way, under the circumstances of the wrong circumstances, Ling Yun got the right to choose the fan team after passing the personal assessment of the captain, and successfully joined the 4th fan team. It also means, from this moment on, he is a baby daddy. At the same time, it is also the face value of the 4th team. Ling Yun. Sometimes I really don't understand you. I think Captain Yoruichi will also object to this decision? Because of his opposition to Ling Yun's decision, Hiyori actually sulked. She tilted her head angrily, looking a little cute. Ling Yun couldn't help laughing immediately. Hiyori, the 4th squad is pretty good. They can practice medicine to save people, and they can also cultivate their minds and minds. Isn't it suitable for retirement? Ling Ku deliberately angered the other party. HMPH, still living in retirement, you really have no ambition? If it wasn't for the captain's presence, with Hiyori's temper, he would definitely bring up the flip-flops immediately. In the end, the assessment was over and everyone left the room one after another. In a blink of an eye, half a day passed. The team building of the 4th team, the captain's team affairs room. The bright sunlight shines through the gaps in the windows, reflecting a faint halo on the ground. The team room is decorated in a classical Japanese style, and there is a light fragrance in every corner. In front of the wooden table made of sandalwood, there is a graceful figure sitting cross-legged. It was a woman with a beautiful face, long black hair parted in the middle, a peaceful smile filled with time, and an elegant temperament. Dressed in a black death tyrant outfit, covered with a 3.7 white haori, with the word, 4, engraved on the back. The current captain of the 4th division, former first-generation Kenpachi. Unohana Retsu 8000 streams. At this time, Unohana Retsu sat cross-legged in front of the wooden table, immersed in the self-cultivation of the tea ceremony. Her every move will naturally reveal a kind of quiet and elegant temperament, full of distinctive and unique personality charm. Just then, there was a sound of footsteps outside the team office. Team leader. I have urgent news for you, the adjutant's voice came from outside the room. Come in. Unohana Retsu immediately stopped what he was doing. Captain Unohana Retsu, the 1st team has just issued a notice that our 4th team will welcome a new player. Vice Captain Katetsu Izan, as soon as he walked into the team office, brought a message. Chapter 79 Sister Hua's smile kills Captain Unohana Retsu. The 1st team has just issued a notice that our 4th team will welcome a new player. Vice Captain Katetsu Izan, as soon as he walked into the team office, brought a message. New team. Unohana Retsu was a little surprised. Why didn't I hear about it before? Captain, this is a temporary decision of the general captain, so we have just been notified. Katetsu Izan walked to the wooden case and handed a notification document to Unohana Retsu. I understand. After reading the content of the notification document, Unohana Retsu suddenly realized. On that beautiful face, a peaceful smile immediately appeared, as if it could melt everything in the world. It never occurred to me that Shihouin Ling Yun, the legendary #1 genius of Mao, would choose to join the 4th team. Unohana Retsu gently put away the file. Ling Yun? No way, didn't he just start school a few months ago? Katetsu Izan once suspected that he had heard wrong. Since she hadn't met before, her understanding of Ling Yun mostly came from some gossip. What impressed me the most was the fact that Ling Yun obtained the 10th class spiritual power in the autumn enrollment a few months ago. Because of this, Katetsu Izan found it hard to believe that Ling Yun was about to join. After all, it was only a few months apart, graduated successfully in such a short time? This is too exaggerated. Yangyan, in this world, things often happen that ordinary people can't understand. Don't be surprised by it. In comparison, Sister Hua is much calmer. As a first-generation Kenpachi, she has lived like the old man for more than 2,000 years and has almost witnessed the entire history of the Soul Society. Unohana Retsu was used to seeing big winds and waves in the past, and was once an unprecedented villain, so she was able to maintain a calm mind in the face of all kinds of appalling deeds. Elegant, calm, wise. Unohana Retsu's words showed a different temperament. Captain, in just half a year, you graduated from the Shinyang Spiritual Academy. Isn't this speed too terrifying? Even though he kept persuading himself in his heart, Katetsu Izan still didn't want to believe it. She just couldn't understand it. How did Ling Yun do it? Yangyan, instead of making random guesses here, let's talk about it in person. Unohana Retsu smiled lightly and looked at the other party, as if looking at a child. Sorry, I lost my temper. Katetsu Izan immediately came to his senses. Go get ready and inform all team members that they will be ready for Ling Yun's welcome ceremony tomorrow. Unohana Retsu then issued an order. I understand. Katetsu Izan nodded respectfully. The so-called welcome ceremony is unique to the 4th team, a cultural atmosphere that promotes the feelings of team members. After all, everyone here is actually not very good at fighting, and they are often looked down upon by Shinigami from other teams, and they will inevitably feel a little lost over time. Under the coordination of Sister Wa, the current atmosphere in the fourth team is harmonious, and there is not much intrigue. As Ling Yun said, definitely the best place for winners. The next day, the aisle of the team building of the 4th Division. No wonder it is the weakest team, the senior officers of the 4th team, their strength is really not satisfactory. When Ling Yun was walking in the aisle, he kept observing everyone passing by. Although he only met a small number of people, Ling Yun can roughly judge the overall strength of the 4th Division team members. Not to mention the battle team, even the stealthy 2nd team has a stronger overall strength. I have to admit that the Shinigami of the 4th team is indeed a bit weak. Of course, this does not affect Ling Yun's decision. And for him, this is even more of an advantage. The weaker the competitors, the more opportunities there are, and the easier it is for Ling Yun to take over. As long as you master Kaido, and use infinite skill points, you will definitely be able to upgrade to Divine Healing, and it will shine brilliantly at that time. Just then, a figure walked towards him. Ling Yun. You came on time. Lieutenant Katetsu Izan of the 4th Division came to Ling Yun with a smile. Vice Captain Ling Yan. This is the first time we've met, right? Ling Yun expressed surprise. Shihouin will be the next boss, a super genius who successfully graduated in just half a year. How could I not know him? Katetsu Izan smiled kindly. Vice Captain Ling Yan, your compliment caught me off guard. Ling Yun responded with a smile. Ling Yun, you don't need to be too cautious. From now on, everyone will be part of the 4th team. I believe you will get used to it soon. While talking, Katetsu Izan couldn't help but look at Ling Yun more. Even leaving aside his status and talent, Ling Yun's impeccably handsome face still has great appeal. Even Katetsu Izan, whose personality has always been relatively conservative, lost his mind for a moment. Then these soldiers? Ling Yun immediately looked into the distance. In his line of sight, since Katetsu Izan appeared, a large number of 4th Division players gathered. Katetsu Izan glanced behind him, and immediately explained with a smile, this is our unique ceremony, to welcome you to join the 4th Division, and everyone will fight side by side in the future. Is there still such a big pomp? Even if Ling Yun didn't care at all, he still felt very good at this moment. The 4th team has given enough face here. 260 inches Ling Yun, this way please, the captain is waiting for you in the team office, I believe you are also looking forward to seeing the captain. Katetsu Izan made a gesture of invitation. Ling Yun nodded noncommittally. The legendary first-generation Kenpachi is also the only other kendo master besides the old man. For a big figure like Sister Wa, Ling Yun is in awe from the bottom of his heart. Soon after, under the leadership of Katetsu Izan, Ling Yun finally came to the team office. The bright sunlight shines through the gaps in the windows, reflecting a faint halo on the ground. The team room is decorated in a classical Japanese style, and there is a light fragrance in every corner. Ling Yun, you are finally here. Ling Yun had just walked into the team affairs room when Sister Hua's soft voice came to her face. I saw her sitting cross-legged in front of the wooden table, looking up at herself. His elegant and luxurious temperament, coupled with his quiet and elegant smile, immediately revealed his unique charm. Captain Unohana Retsu. Ling Yun nodded respectfully, looking a little reserved. Facing this noble and outstanding woman, he tried his best to act like a gentleman, hoping to make a good first impression. But, facing Sister Hua's healing smile, Ling Yun felt his heart almost melted. Chapter 80 Sudden became a personal disciple, Captain Unohana Retsu. Facing Sister Hua's healing smile, for a moment, Ling Yun felt that his heart was about to melt. Unohana Retsu's smile kills and is almost invulnerable. As a result, Ling Yun, who was already somewhat reserved, paid more attention to his words and deeds. Ling Yun, would you like a cup of hot tea? Unohana Retsu chuckled. On the wooden table in front of her, there were several cups of steaming tea, exuding a fragrant smell. Captain Unohana Retsu, is this the tea you made yourself? That's right, try my handicraft. This is only the first day. I didn't expect to be able to drink the hot tea made by the captain himself just after joining the 4th team. I should be quite lucky. Ling Yun readily agreed. Not to mention, ordinary new players, let alone drink a cup of tea. There is no chance to be alone in a room with Sister Wa. The current scene shows that Ling Yun has been favored by Sister Wa. Ling Yun, you are joking, it has nothing to do with luck. Unohana Retsu is approachable and has no airs of the captain at all. She smiled gracefully and said, from the moment you join the team, regardless of status or position, everyone is a partner with each other. After finishing speaking, Sister Wa picked up the teapot, refilled a cup of hot tea, and handed it to Ling Yun. This warm scene. Once again, Ling Yun had the feeling of returning to the safe haven. The years are quiet and good, quiet and pleasant. A strong tea scent. Ling Yun picked up the teacup, just smelled it, and the aroma of Japanese stock rushed to her face. He immediately came to his senses, and immediately felt full of energy, and sincerely praised, Captain Unohana Retsu, I didn't expect your tea art to be so good. In addition to handling team affairs, I prefer tea art and calligraphy and painting. On Unohana Retsu's beautiful face, there was a kind and gentle smile. Between her words and deeds, it seemed that she inadvertently dispelled the negative emotions. As expected of the entire Gode 13, one of the most feminine characters backquote. Sister Hua's charm is impeccable. Face to face with Unohana Retsu, just talking for a while, Ling Yun had this feeling. Good looks, good temperament, good conversation. Even including status, as well as her own strength, Sister Hua is almost impeccable in every aspect. Perhaps, perfect, is a more appropriate description. Ling Yun, if you guessed right, you don't know anything about Kaido, right? Unohana Retsu also took a sip of hot tea, and then changed the subject. Ling Yun nodded noncommittally. Actually, this is also normal. Although you enjoy the resources of Shihouin nobles, Yoruichi is not very good at Kaido. Unohana Retsu expressed her understanding. When she mentioned Yoruichi, it was in the tone of an elder. But it sounds so natural. In order to make it easier for you to understand, let me explain a little bit. Kaido, as one of the types of Kido, the main function is healing. Unlike Bakudo and Hado, not all Shinigami will Kaido. Under normal circumstances, only the members of the 4th division are good at Kaido, and as for the other divisions, only a very small number of members may be able to master it. Unohana Retsu briefly explained. Captain Unohana Retsu, I would like to ask, how to learn Kaido specifically? Is there a special officer in charge of teaching? Ling Yun asked what he was most concerned about. The primary goal of joining the 4th team is to learn the most basic Kaido. The infinite skill points of the system are constantly waving towards Kaido. Do not, others do, but you don't need to. Unohana Retsu seemed to have expected it a long time ago. While putting down the teacup elegantly, she shook her head with a chuckle. What's the meaning? Ling Yun looked bewildered. Ling Yun, you are actually right. Any new member who has just joined the team needs to practice Kaido on the training ground under the guidance of the chief officer until they are proficient at the position of Grand Master. But, Unohana Retsu paused and looked at Ling Yun seriously. Being able to successfully graduate from the Genyan Ling Yun Academy in half a year, your talent and understanding are naturally beyond doubt, so there is no need for this link at all. Starting today, I will personally teach you how to practice Kaido. Unohana Retsu's words lit up Ling Yun's eyes. Sister Hua's personal teaching? Ling Yun suddenly felt pleasantly surprised. It came too suddenly. He already felt lucky enough to be favored by Sister Hua, and now he still has the opportunity to personally guide him. Simply blissful. Ling Yun, you should have confidence, right? With the captain's personal teaching, I will definitely learn with my heart. Ling Yun responded confidently. The threshold for Kaido's practice is not high. As long as someone leads the way, you can get started quickly, so you can rest assured. In order to avoid Ling Yun's nervousness, Unohana Retsu continued to ease the atmosphere. Ling Yun, I have already inquired about your previous deeds. When you were practicing at the Shinyang Spiritual Academy, you showed a Kido talent that is different from ordinary people, which shows that you are very familiar with the transformation of Ryotsu, and this happens to be the essence of Kaido. Before Unohana Retsu changed his tone, he deliberately emphasized his tone. Conversion of Ryotsu? Ling Yun frowned. That's right, let me give you an example and you will understand. Unohana Retsu smiled and explained unhurriedly, Hado is an attack-type Kido, and Bakudo is a spell-type Kido. They are all transformed into powerful moves through the invocation and condensation of Ryotsu. And Kaido is a little bit different. It doesn't need high-strength condensed Ryotsu, it just needs to maintain the stability of Ryotsu all the time. Unohana Retsu patiently answered questions. She explained all the difficulties and key points face to face in detail. Her words made Ling Yun Mose, of Denuo, suddenly enlightened, and had a clear understanding of Kaido. Captain Unohana Retsu, I probably understand the principle, but in practice. Before Ling Yun finished speaking, she was immediately interrupted by Sister Hua. Practical operation is even simpler. Unohana Retsu showed a moving smile. For a genius like you, there shouldn't be any difficulty. Obviously Sister Hua has high hopes for Ling Yun. Whether meeting alone or explaining the principles, there is a feeling of teaching personal disciples. This special treatment is very enviable. Next, I will guide you to try. Are you sure you can learn it in one day? Unohana Retsu asked suddenly. Days. Ling Yun was silent for a moment. What, don't you have confidence? This is not the performance Mao's first genius should show. Sister Hua rarely took the initiative to use aggressive methods. The atmosphere suddenly became a little subtle. Chapter 81 The Dumbfounded Sister Hua. Ling Yun. As Mao's first genius, I believe you can do it in one day. On Unohana Retsu's beautiful face, there was a charming smile. She deliberately resorted to aggressive methods, trying to motivate Ling Yun in this way. The atmosphere in the entire team room became subtle because of this. Captain Unohana Retsu, thanks to your attention, I will not let you down. Ling Yun and Sister Hua looked at each other, feeling the softness of the eyes, and immediately became full of confidence. As I said at the beginning, in order to leave a deep first impression on Sister Hua. Learn Kaido no matter what, I believe you can do it. The smile on Sister Hua's face deepened, as if she could warm people's hearts inadvertently. Infected by Sister Hua's smile one after another, Ling Yun felt no pressure, a feeling of physical and mental release. This feeling is completely different when meeting the captain. The two are both 2,000-year-old Shinigami. The old man is like a volcano that may erupt at any time, while Wajia is like a gentle haven, and even has a home feeling. Until this moment, Ling Yun finally understands why Sister Wa enjoys a highly respected status in the entire Godai 13. The reason is actually very simple, and 540 is not because of its strong strength. After all, Unohana Retsu has always kept a low profile and never deliberately showed his strength. The key is to be easygoing and considerate to your subordinates. I'm afraid that at this time, Sister Wa is the only person who is recognized by all the Shinigami besides Aizen and the old man. Ling Yun thought to himself. Okay, Ling Yun, let's start training next. Sister Hua's sudden words awakened Ling Yun from her contemplation. Later, according to what I said, first try to mobilize the Ryatsu in your body and condense them in the palms of your hands. The reason for this is that when Kaido is performed, the wounds of the wounded are treated, so it is the most basic requirement that this action fit the wound. Unohana Retsu emphasized it deliberately. Even if it was just a small movement, she pursued it with extreme rigor, and did not miss any small details. It's that simple. The principle and mode of operation of Kaido, in fact, Ling Yun can understand after listening to it. For Grandmaster Kaido, there is no difficulty at all. Ever since, Ling Yun followed Sister Hua's guidance and tried it with concentration, BBBB. Boom. Ling Yun also didn't see any movement, and the Ryatsu in his body burst out suddenly. The fusion of multiple different attributes Ryatsu suddenly emerged in the palm of the hand like a torrent, and emitted different colors of luster, immediately illuminating the entire team room. This is. Unohana Retsu sensed a little, and a look of horror suddenly appeared on her usually gentle and kind face. With such eyesight, it is natural to see Ling Ya's particularity at a glance. When the legendary multi-attribute Ryatsu really appeared in front of my eyes, Rao has witnessed the changes of the years in the past, and even Sister Wa couldn't help being amazed. Ling Yun, I didn't expect your Ryatsu to be so special, and the density is also so amazing. Unohana Retsu was not stingy with her praise. Judging from the strength alone, the Ryatsu in Ling Yun's body may only have the standard of an ordinary officer. But, the fusion of multi-attribute Ryatsu has caused a qualitative change in Ryatsu, and its strength has naturally increased several times. Therefore, if you insist on comparison, Ling Yun's Ryatsu density even exceeds the vice-captain level Shinigami, and is almost the same as the captain level. This is also the meaning of the existence of Yanmo. Captain Unohana Retsu, it's not really a secret, the captain has sensed it before, Ling Yun admitted generously. Even if he deliberately conceals it, things like Ryatsu are Shinigami's most basic abilities, and there is no secret at all. Therefore, Ling Yun will not deliberately cover up. It's incredible to have such a powerful Ryatsu in less than half a year of practice. Unohana Retsu seems to have not recovered, and has been immersed in the previous feelings. Captain Unohana Retsu's praise, my practice is purely based on luck. Ling Ku responded with a chuckle. Luck? No, luck must be the key, but in the end you still have to rely on yourself. Unohana Retsu's eyes were a little complicated, no wonder you broke the history of Maoyang Academy. After such a small episode, Unohana Retsu has a new understanding of Ling Yun. However, I am now a member of the 4th team, and the affairs of the Maoyang Academy have changed, and the most important thing is to master Kaido as soon as possible. Ling Yun changed the subject in a timely manner. That's right, let's go to the next step, I was distracted just now. Unohana Retsu nodded, and immediately raised her palm, in order to give you a clear idea, let's let you experience how Ryatsu is transformed. Boom. One Sister Wa repeats the previous action, exuding her own Ryatsu. Then, contrary to Ling Yun's expectations, she put her palm on Ling Yun's arm. This action suddenly made the atmosphere a little subtle. Captain, what is this? Ling Yun didn't react for a while. Ling Yun, feel it with your heart, this is the so-called Kaido. The moment Sister Wa said these words, Ling Yun had a clear feeling. I saw a turquoise light emerge from Sister Hua's palm, as bright as a piece of emerald, which contains a special healing ability. This soft green light continuously penetrates into the blood vessels along the capillary pores on the body surface. Ling Yun immediately felt comfortable and relaxed. Did you sense it? Unohana Retsu raised an eyebrow and smiled. She is like a kind teacher with an encouraging smile on her face. I'll try it. Ling Yun nodded confidently. In fact, after one round, his mastery of Kaido is almost sure. Afterwards, Ling Yun spread both arms, imitating Sister Hua's action just now. Buzz buzz, after Ryatsu transformed, a turquoise light bloomed along the palm, and the soft breath contained in it gave people a feeling of endless life. Is it true that you learned it in an instant? Although it has been continuously motivated before. But Sister Wa is more in a joking tone. One day Grandmaster Kaido, in her opinion, this kind of thing is almost impossible. Even if it is a super genius, it is impossible to achieve it in such a short period of time. But Ling Yun did it. Ling Yun, how should I describe it, your talent? Unohana Retsu has a complicated expression. She really can't find too many words to describe Ling Yun's amazing talent. I was speechless. Already the best response ever. Chapter 82 Heaven-defying divine healing, no? Isn't this talent too exaggerated, to learn it so quickly? Looking at the constantly flashing green light, Unohana Retsu's expression was almost dull. She could clearly sense that the surging green Ryotsu contained Kaido's fluctuations. It didn't even take a day for Ling Yun to master Kaido. The speed is jaw-dropping. Perhaps I was born with the material to be a doctor. It seems that in the future, the Soul Society will be able to cover any life-saving and wounded matters on me. Ling Yun made a joke at the right time. Ling Yun, your mentality is quite optimistic, Unohana Retsu chuckled. The original shock disappeared in an instant, replaced by a soft smile. She recovered quickly. At the same time, Ling Yun quietly shifted her energy to another matter. All joking aside, what he cares most about is the skill upgrade. For Unohana Retsu's smile, Ling Yun smiled politely, and then opened the System Properties panel. It's not that he's pretending to be aloof and temporarily giving up on interacting with Sister Wa, but he's busy with some skills. Ding! Congratulations host, Kaido has been upgraded to LV2. Congratulations host, Kaido's level has been raised to LV3. Congratulations host, Kaido's level has been raised to LV4. Congratulations host, Kaido's level has been raised to LV99. The system notification sound, like a text message bombardment, kept ringing in my ears. Taking advantage of this short gap, Ling Yun reached the full level of the skill in one breath. The plus sign behind Kaido disappeared, and there was an extra max sign. Ding! Congratulations host, you got extra talent, God. As has happened before, after upgrading Kaido to full level, additional talents will also be awakened. Spiritual healing. Hearing this name, Ling Yun was overjoyed. Almost without thinking, the effect of the so-called spiritual healing must be heaven-defying. Then Ling Yun looked at the description of the talent. Open black lens bracket God healing close black lens bracket, talent effect. When casting Kaido, there is no need to perform Ryotsu transformation, and the injury can be healed instantly, and it has additional effects such as restoring Ryotsu, and even regenerating severed limbs. F*K. This talent is a bit outrageously strong. Ling Yun's eyes burst into a burst of intense light. It doesn't matter if you perform the spell without singing, it can be healed instantly, and Ryotsu can be restored. Doesn't that mean the self with spiritual healing seems to be a perpetual motion machine? Unlimited Ryotsu, unlimited blood recovery, and even the ability to regenerate severed limbs. The so-called immortality and immortality is probably nothing more than that. It was indeed a wise decision to choose the fourth team. After awakening the talent of God healing, you don't have to worry about any threatening situation. Ling Yun muttered inwardly with satisfaction. At this time, his first thought was to go to the Zaraki area again. With the trump card of God healing, Ling Yun has full confidence to fight with the opponent for 10 days and 10 nights. After all, to a certain extent, he can be regarded as a different type of immortality. Of course, with the upgrading of skills and the awakening of talents, the attribute panel has undergone significant changes. Name: Shihouin Ling Yun. Status: Squad member of the 4th Division. Ryotsu: 2250, plus 10, Shunpo: 2285, plus 10, Slash: 2056, plus 10. J: 2052, plus 10, Hado. Low order Hado, max, middle order Hado, max, some high order Hado. Bakudo: low Bakudo, max, middle Bakudo, max, some high Bakudo. Special skills: Shiba family secret technique, max, double bone boxing technique, max, Kaido, max. Talents: 6 attribute affinity, Ryotsu boost, Hado boost, strange power blow, divine healing. Skill points: at #% at hash after receiving rewards from random tasks, the attribute panel has a new look. The attributes of Ling Yun look much more comfortable. Ling Yun: were you in a daze just now? In fact, I learned Kaido one day, and I should have the same reaction. Unohana Retsu smiled gracefully. About many years ago, Sister Wa, who was still a big villain at that time, went to Rukongai to find her opponent. Then she came to the Zaraki district, and after fighting against the boy Zaraki Kenpachi, and ended up losing, Unohana Retsu's emotions were infected. Ask for flowers. She went to the space of Lingwang Palace to learn from Tianqilong of Qilin Temple, and it took several days to fully master Kaido. But now Ling Yun only took 1 day. No matter how broad-minded Sister Wa is, the gap between the front and the back is still hard for her to accept. No way. This is the power of plugins. Sorry, I was distracted just now, but I was really immersed in joy. Ling Yun made an excuse at will. Don't worry, I can fully understand that you should be close to Kaido by nature, so you can fully grasp it in such a short time. Unohana Retsu smiled in relief. But then again, Unohana Retsu looked at Ling Yun, his eyes sparkled. To tell you the truth, after I became the captain of the 4th team, I have come into contact with countless players. But there has never been anyone who has such outstanding Kaido skills like you. Talent. A disagreement is another compliment. Faced with Sister Hua's constant praise, if Ling Yun hadn't adjusted her mentality, she would definitely swell up uncontrollably. Captain Unohana Retsu's reputation is too high. If you continue to boast like this, I can't bear it. Ling Yun rubbed the back of his head and smiled heartily. By the way, Kaido is finished, so what's the next course? Ling Yun changed the subject cleverly. Ling Yun, since you have mastered Kaido, there is nothing else to teach you for the time being. Then you can go about your own activities in the team building. If there are tasks, I will notify you at any time. Unohana Retsu smiled gently. I understand. After awakening the divine healing, Ling Yun is already satisfied. But he didn't leave immediately, but suddenly made a request. Captain Unohana Retsu, I have a presumptuous request. I wonder if you can agree to it. Ling Yun's expression became serious, with strong expectations. What request? Feeling Ling Yun's tone, Unohana Retsu suddenly felt puzzled. Ling Yun, just say what you need, I will do my best to help you. Captain Unohana Retsu, I once heard Sister Yoruichi say that you have a very high attainment in kendo, and it happens that I am also very interested in kendo. Ling Yun took a deep breath and asked with burning eyes. Can you teach me how to practice swordsmanship? Chapter 83 The Sword Hall left over from the years. Captain Unohana Retsu, can you teach me how to practice swordsmanship? Ling Yun asked with burning eyes. That's right, after mastering Kaido, Ling Yun started his second goal, Yachinryu Kendo. The legendary 8000-style kendo claims to include all the schools in the world. In the world of Shinigami, which is dominated by slashing techniques, this is almost the apex of kendo. And Sister Wa, as its founder, is undoubtedly a top swordsman, possessing the supreme ability of swordsmanship. Once he has the opportunity to get in touch with Yachinryu Kendo, even if he just masters some superficial knowledge, Ling Yun's sword skills will definitely have a qualitative leap, and his combat power will skyrocket again. Unexpectedly, he won the favor of Sister Wa, so naturally he would not easily miss this unique opportunity. Of course. If there were other outsiders present, such as Lieutenant Hu Shang's 150 sound, they would definitely reprimand Ling Yun mercilessly, accusing Ling Yun of being so rude. It is reasonable to say that it is a bit illegal to make such a request on the first day of joining the team. After all, Sister Hua's team is busy, and there are many people in the fourth team. If everyone makes such a request, the order of the team will easily be messed up. Are you going to practice swordsmanship? After hesitating for a moment, Unohana Retsu, instead of reprimanding, asked Ling Yun curiously. Captain Unohana Retsu, in fact, besides Kido, I am best at cutting techniques. My Zanpakutō Yan Mo also has this fighting style. Ling Ku answered bluntly. Yan Mo Dark Scythe. This huge scythe engraved with the glyph of death. In addition to the stylish shape, it also has an extremely sharp blade, which is not inferior to any sword. More importantly, it itself exudes a dark atmosphere, which perfectly blends with the special evil spirit of Yachinryu Kendo. Not to mention that Yan Mo itself has multi-attribute abilities. Under various premise, Ling Yun believes that Yachinryu Kendo is completely tailor-made for himself. So even if he exhausted all means, he must seek opportunities. I can't tell, you're actually good at chopping. Unohana Retsu showed a gentle smile, looked at Ling Yun in surprise, and said with a light smile, it stands to reason that the Shihouin family is inseparable from generation to generation in secret maneuvers. The best thing is stealth assassination. Captain Unohana Retsu, I am me, different from Sister Yoruichi, otherwise I would not choose to join the fourth team. Ling Yun responded with a face of determination. In fact, as Ling Yun, even if he doesn't have the right to choose, he can still go through the back door. Joining the second division, being promoted by Yoruichi, and then becoming a seat officer are all things that are easy to come by. But Ling Yun doesn't want that. The world of Shinigami, dominated by Zanpakutō, naturally cannot do without chopping. Therefore, choosing the path of kendo and aiming to be a great swordsman is what Ling Yun most hopes to achieve. It's really rare. Under normal circumstances, the fan teams associated with the four great nobles will adopt the hereditary system and take over the captain's position from generation to generation. In addition to the second team, the sixth team of the Kuchiki nobles has also been in this way for many years. As one of the oldest Shinigami, Unohana Retsu knows the past of Gode 13 better than anyone. Ling Yun, with your talent, once you choose the second team, you will definitely be able to take over Yoruichi's position in the future. Is it rare that you are not at all tempted? Unohana Retsu asked curiously. She wants to know Ling Yun's inner thoughts. Whether I can become the captain or not doesn't really mean much. Compared with fame and status, what I focus on is my personal strength. Ling Yun expressed his true inner thoughts. As long as the strength is strong enough, even an ordinary soldier can still have a decisive influence. Among the original plots, Masked Army is the best example. Every one of them, without exception, is a captain-level Shinigami, but they were still persecuted by Aizen in the Hollow Knight accident, and finally forced to hide in this world for hundreds of years. After defecting, all the previous glory and status disappeared in an instant. In the final analysis, it is the lack of strength. I understand. Ling Yun, in addition to your amazing talent, your mentality and ideas also make my eyes shine. Unohana Retsu's favorability for Ling Yun has once again improved a lot because of this secret talk. The perfect first impression. It is often the most critical step to continue interpersonal communication, and now Ling Yun has clearly done it. He managed to win Miss Hua's favor. Captain Unohana Retsu, you will not refuse my request, right? Ling Yun plucked up the courage to ask back. In fact, through Sister Hua's facial expression, Ling Wei is 80% sure. The only uncertain factor is that Sister Hua may be busy with team affairs and has no free time for the time being. However, Unohana Retsu gave a pleasant answer. Ling Yun, I can feel your persistent pursuit of kendo. Unohana Retsu cast an affirmative glance at Ling Yun. It just so happens that you are free during this time. In addition to practicing Kaido, you can also follow me to practice kendo in addition to practicing Kaido. It's done. Ling Yun was secretly happy. The big stone hanging in his heart instantly relaxed. With Sister Hua's behavior, since she has agreed to him, she will definitely teach him with all her strength in the future. As for the place of practice, you can come with me now. Unohana Retsu pondered for a moment, then stood up and left the case. Ling Yun nodded and followed behind her. The two left the team room one after the other. Soon after, led by Unohana Retsu all the way, the two finally arrived at their destination along the winding aisle. No one has been here for a long time, right? Ling Yun stood beside Unohana Retsu, observing the surrounding environment curiously. Looking around, the environment here looks a bit desolate. 3.3. There are withered leaves and long rotted roots everywhere, and a thick layer of soil has accumulated. The first feeling it gives people is that it has been abandoned for a long time, revealing a sense of desolation. Ling Yun. Did you see it? The sword gym in front is where we will train in the future. Unohana Retsu pointed forward. At the end of her line of sight, stood an old sword hall. The appearance and tone of the sword hall are very old, and many walls have even fallen off, as if they may collapse at any time. As for the location of the door, like the surrounding environment, it is covered with broken branches and fallen leaves, which not only looks disorganized, but even reveals the traces of time. This inconspicuous sword hall, it is the place where Ling Yun will practice kendo in the future. To be able to become a great swordsman depends on his practice after stepping into the sword gym. Chapter 84 The Terrifying 8000 Swordsmanship. In front of the abandoned sword hall, Ling Yun and Unohana Retsu stand side by side. However, on the faces of the two, each showed a completely different expression. On Ling Yun's side, there were more doubts and some apprehension. As for Unohana Retsu, there is a trace of nostalgia. The mood of the two is different, and the state is not the same. Ling Yun, you must be very confused about this old sword hall. Unohana Retsu smiled gracefully. Captain Unohana Retsu, this place has obviously been abandoned for a long time, right? There must be some special reason for it? Ling Yun asked curiously. You guessed right, this place is indeed very special. Sister Hua looked at the sword hall and said with nostalgia, this is the place where I practiced swords back then. I see. No wonder you brought me here on purpose. Unohana Retsu's explanation immediately dispelled all doubts for Ling Yun. Although he only observes from the outside, Ling Yun clearly feels that this sword hall is not simple. 11. Captain Unohana Retsu, there must be a lot of traces left behind in this sword hall, right? Ling Yun asked expectantly. Although she knew the details of Sister Hua for a long time, Ling Yun couldn't help being curious about this mysterious sword hall, wanting to understand the secrets inside. Want to know? Unohana Retsu intentionally sold a pass, but instead made a request. If you are curious, then show enough attitude and let me see your talent in kendo. Sister Hua, who has always been generous, rarely took the initiative to make a joke. Dignified and elegant, with outstanding temperament. A casual smile, like a beautiful landscape, dispels all Shaosei atmosphere immediately. Based on Captain's past experience, it is very difficult to gain your approval, but I still plan to try. Ling Yun did not flinch, but was full of confidence. Facing the former first-generation Kenpachi, he instantly became full of curiosity. After all, thousands of years ago, this elegant woman in front of her was once a murderous villain. It is a supreme honor to be recognized by Sister Hua and become her direct disciple. Ling Yun, it seems that you are ready, so come with me. Led by Unohana Retsu, the two walked to the gate of the sword hall. Soon after, Ling Yun and Sister Hua stepped into the sword hall one after the other. The internal environment also comes into view. The interior of the entire sword hall looks very empty, and there are not too many sundries. The ground is paved with a thick layer of marble, engraved with many patterns of Teidao, and the surrounding walls and eaves pillars are made of special materials. What, Ujiwa-chan, why does it feel like the walls here are exuding the same fluctuations as the Lingbi wall? Ling Yun glanced around the room suspiciously. The more you observe, the stronger it becomes. That's right, the roof and walls inside the sword hall are made of murderous stone, which can isolate all Ryotsu fluctuations. Unohana Retsu explained with a chuckle. Murderous stone. No wonder it's so familiar. Hearing Unohana Retsu's explanation, Ling Yun suddenly realized. The so-called murderous stone is a unique material of Jinglingting. It can block any transmission of spiritual power, and will create a protective cover on the surface of the barrier. Therefore, it can ensure that any Ryatsu fluctuations or Kido moves, or even sword skills will not cause any damage to the sword hall. Compared with the hidden base under the Shuangji Hill, this place is undoubtedly more suitable for kendo practice. Let's start practicing swordsmanship next. The voice of Unohana Retsu opened the prelude to the practice. Immediately afterwards, something happened that stunned Ling Yun. I didn't see Sister Wa making any movements, she just stared with her eyes, and her temperament changed suddenly. It is no longer the original gentleness like water, but completely transformed into thick as blood, the evil spirit hidden in the body. The evil spirit hidden before is released without reservation in an instant. Dark, negative, bloody. The aura emitted by Unohana Retsu seems to come from the depths of hell. Only the endless piles of corpses and bones can produce amazing evil spirits. Just sensing it for a while, Ling Yun was in a daze in an instant. What an amazing momentum. It's no wonder that he was an unprecedented villain back then. It's hard to imagine how many people's blood Unohana Retsu had on his hands back then. Ling Yun's mood fluctuated violently and his pupils couldn't help it. Let go. Even though he had made preparations long ago, Ling Yun's emotions were still affected by the astonishing evil spirit. It is not difficult to imagine that Unohana Retsu's past must be bathed in blood. It's just the momentum, it's so amazing. Yachinlu's swordsmanship is really powerful. After a short period of shock, Ling Yun quickly came back to his senses. 8,000 streams of kendo, just like its name, contains thousands of kinds of kendo in the world. Especially after feeling this astonishing evil spirit, Ling Yun became more determined in his original idea. Not only was he in high spirits, but he even became a little bit hot-blooded because of his fighting spirit. Ling Yun, you performed very well, completely out of my expectation, and you were not affected by the evil spirit. Unohana Retsu raised her eyebrows in surprise. Captain Unohana Retsu, I'm almost reaching the limit of my patience, and I almost lost control of my emotions. On Ling Yun's handsome and flawless face, there was a bitter smile. 517. The evil spirit of blood in the Bachanliu sword Dao can even erode the sanity of others. If the mind is not firm enough, it will be easily infected, and thus to the point where the mood is out of control. It doesn't matter, after a long period of training, you will gradually get used to this evil spirit. While Unohana Retsu was talking, white palms popped out from the sleeves on both sides, and quietly untied the braids that hung down in front of the collarbone and tied into a twist. A head of black and smooth long hair fell down her shoulders like a waterfall. The area above the collarbone, because of the loss of hair cover, showed a shocking scar, which looked particularly eye-catching. More importantly, after undoing the braids, Sister Hua's overall image changed again. In addition to the dark, bloody evil spirit from before, his expression and momentum have also become completely different. Unohana Retsu 8,000 streams. So this is what first-generation Kenpachi really looks like. Ling Yun and Sister Hua stood facing each other, looking at the other party's pair of dark eyes without emotion fluctuations, after feeling the indifference and ruthlessness in them. Ling Yun couldn't help touching the girdle, and held Zanpakutō Yan Mo tightly in his hand, which barely dispelled the oppression of the aura brought by Sister Hua. After that period of time, he deeply felt the horror of Yachiliu's kendo. Chapter 85 Introductory Style, Scimitar Cutting Technique. First Generation Kenpachi. Unohana Retsu Yachiryu, so this is what she really looks like. Ling Yun and Unohana Retsu stood face to face, looking at those emotionally fluctuating eyes, suddenly felt a tingling sensation in the scalp. At this time, he instinctively touched the position of the girdle, and held Zanpakutō Yan Mo tightly in his hand, which barely dispelled the oppression of the aura brought by Sister Hua. In just such a short moment, Ling Yun deeply felt the horror of Yachiryu Kendo. Don't be nervous, mentality. Unohana Retsu smiled, and her temperament immediately changed, returning to her original gentleness. The seamless and perfect switching of the two temperaments before and after is really surprising. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes and experienced it face to face, no one would believe this scene. Ling Yun, I can feel that your Zanpakutō is different. While Unohana Retsu was speaking, his eyes fell on Zanpakutō Yanmo. The subtle fluctuations emanating from Yanmo echoed with her evil spirit of the Way of the Sword. Although the two auras are relatively different, they are generally the same in diameter, and there is no repulsion at all. My Zanpakutō Yanmo is a Thunderbolt Zanpakutō. Ling Yun increased the strength of his grip on the knife, and at the same time put forward the previous set of rhetoric. Yes. Unohana Retsu smiled lightly. Since she had already sensed Ling Yun's Ryatsu when teaching Kaido before, she naturally understood everything easily. However, Sister Hua did not expose, but skipped this white lie. In any case, the most important thing in kendo practice is the practice of one's own realm, and this is the most critical part. Unohana Retsu gradually became serious. Her words, the implication is obvious, state of mind. Kendo practice, in addition to sword skills, is more important to the breakthrough of the state of mind. Only by being like Shisui can you break through the bottleneck smoothly, reach a higher level, and finally become a great swordsman. I understand. Ling Yun held Zanpakutō flat in front of him, his eyes gradually became hot. Captain Unohana Retsu, Zanpakutō's normal form is not my fighting style, I should just Shikai directly. I also really want to witness Mao's first talent Zanpakutō. Unohana Retsu nodded silently. Subsequently, facing Sister Hua's gaze, Ling Yun held Zanpakutō with his backhand. The Zanpakutō liberation language sounded, used by the evil god, Wei Wu has exhausted his body. Yan Mo dark scythe. Ling Yun's words were resounding. The Zanpakutō in his hand, with the sound, emitted a dark light. This volatility, on Sister Hua's beautiful face, the expression changed due to the exposure of the black light. No wonder you adapted to the evil spirit so quickly, Zanpakutō is really different. Sister Hua kept her eyes on Yan Mo. There was a clear sense of expectation in her words. In addition to the special dark breath, Yan Mo's appearance is also eye-catching. The whole body has black and white lines, the end of the handle is dark red, and the blade is like a crescent moon, blooming a huge scythe with dazzling white light. This deadly Shinigami sickle, the overall appearance of Haki is mighty, accompanied by a mysterious atmosphere. Every release will attract a lot of attention. Captain Unohana Retsu, this is Yan Mo's true appearance, you probably didn't expect it. Ling Yun waved Yan Mo lightly, which caused a strong wind. A white mark suddenly appeared on the marble floor. If it weren't for the special material that could block the transmission of Ryotsu, it might have been broken already. From the appearance alone, it looks more like Zanpakutō of the Department of Physics. No wonder you insist on doing Shikai. Unohana Retsu nodded in agreement, and she could feel the extraordinariness of Yan Mo just from the intuitive judgment. Captain Unohana Retsu, you don't need to release your ability for the next kendo training, right? Ling Yun carried Yan Mo on his shoulders and asked impatiently. 6 attributes, perfectly integrated. Through the characteristics of Yan Mo, Ling Yun can release a variety of different tricks. But for this training, Yan Mo's multi-attribute ability seems a bit gimmicky. In fact, Ling Yun is more inclined to practice basic sword skills. After all, it's just the beginning, and you still need to practice step by step, so I plan to teach you some basic moves. Unohana Retsu's idea hit it off with Ling Yun. First of all, it is the most basic entry move. Unohana Retsu raised her eyes, and pulled out Zanpakutō Shizuku Kof from the position of her girdle. As soon as she raised her hands and feet, she exuded a terrifying aura. Boom, under the influence of Wajia Ryotsu, the floor under the two of them shook violently like a tide, making a deafening sound. Fortunately, there was a murderous stone blocking it, otherwise the impact of this Ryotsu alone would be enough to blow the entire sword hall away. This is the power of first-generation Kenpachi, what an amazing momentum. Ling Yun's discreet micro-mirror eyes. He held his breath cautiously, his whole body tensed into a string, not daring to be distracted at all. Intuition tells Ling Yun that as long as Sister Hua has any killing intent, his life will be in danger at any time. It's good. This is the most basic move. Since she untied the bun above her collarbone, Sister Hua's whole personality has changed. Especially when she picked up Zanpakutō, her beautiful face was full of special evil spirit. This moment, Ling Yun not only felt that his scalp was numb, but even the hairs all over his body stood up one by one. A strong sense of crisis emerges in my heart, machete slashing technique. When these words just came out of his mouth, Unohana Retsu's body twisted lightly, and appeared behind Ling Yun strangely at an astonishing speed that the naked eye could not catch. Brush, with a soft sound, Zanpakutō Shizuku coughed out. The speed is so fast, there is no time, of wangs, and reaction. When Ling Yun came back to his senses, he found a very obvious sword mark on the ground beside him. Even if there is a murderous stone blocking it, the ground of the sword hall is still damaged. The power of the scimitar slicing technique can be seen, Madara. Ling Yun, you should feel it. This is the power of the scimitar slicing technique. Unohana Retsu put away Zanpakutō, and his expression returned to normal. That terrible evil spirit was replaced by a touch of tenderness. She has changed back to the original, highly respected captain of the 4th Division. It seems simple, but it is powerful. Although the scimitar cutting technique is basic, it has strong practicality. Ling Yun's words hit the nail on the head, pointing out all the advantages directly. That's right, for the next period of time, the only thing you need to do is master the scimitar slicing technique proficiently. Satisfied, Unohana Retsu put away the Zanpakutō. Looking at Ling Yun's serious face, she seemed to see a future great swordsman. Chapter 86 Ling Yun possessed by the Sword Fairy. Ling Yun. In the next period of time, the only thing you need to do is to master the scimitar cutting technique proficiently. Unohana Retsu put away Zanpakutō and looked at Ling Yun with satisfaction. Ling Yun's resolute expression touched Sister Hua inadvertently, allowing her to see the shadow of herself in the past, and she had the illusion of witnessing the great swordsman of the future. The student surpasses the master. Sister Hua has no doubts about this ancient saying. In the past 2,000 years of the Soul Society, as a witness of this long history, she has witnessed too many geniuses who turned out to be born, and witnessed the fall of countless geniuses. In fact, there are not many people who can stand upright over time. Kyoraku Shunsui and Jashiro Yukitaki, these 2-century-old captains with senior qualifications, were also the 2 most talented students in that class. But now, The entire Gotei 13 and Shinigami in the same class as them can hardly find a third place. It can be seen that the birth and rise of geniuses often go through the test of time. But Unohana Retsu saw a different side of Ling Yun. Regardless of how familiar Ryotsu is, the Yan Mo in the hands of Ling Yun is already a miracle, making Zanpakutō 100. Unlimited room for growth, unlimited skills and moves. Although I haven't personally experienced it, but with Sister Hua's eyesight, I can naturally judge a general idea. If she knew, Ling Yun still has the cheat of unlimited skill points, any skill move can break through the limit. Then Sister Hua will be stunned. Captain Unohana Retsu, I will try hard. Ling Yun showed enough humility. In front of a great swordsman, he had to humbly ask for advice and try to correct his mentality as much as possible. Being able to get Sister Hua's personal guidance and become her personal disciple. There is hardly anything luckier than this, ever since. With Unohana Retsu stepping aside, Ling Yun started sweating. Time flies. An afternoon passed in a blink of an eye. Through the gap of the window, one can clearly see that the clouds floating in the sky have been colored by red clouds. Dusk is approaching, and the sun is setting. The area has become much quieter. Brush brush brush. Sweaty Ling Yun held the Zanpakutō Yama in his hand and waved it again and again. Several hours of practice and high-intensity physical exertion made him a little exhausted, and his arms were sore and weak. Letting out a heavy breath, Ling Yun put down the death scythe, feeling a little exhausted. Ling Yun, how do you feel? Have you mastered the scimitar cut? Ling Yun just took a breath when Unohana Retsu's voice came from the side. Captain Unohana Retsu, it's a sure thing. Ling Yun wiped the sweat from his forehead. He had to complain that Sister Hua, who entered the training state, was much stricter than he imagined. Irregular actions? Again. Not strong enough? Again? Not enough momentum? Again. Sister Hua's requirements for Ling Yun can even be described as picky. Because of this, Ling Yun had to carry out high-intensity repetitive training. That's why the scene just now happened. Put out your best form and demonstrate it for the last time, and then today's training will end here. Unohana Retsu pointed at Ling Yun. Okay. Ling Yun responded while upgrading her skills. Ding. Congratulations, host, the level of scimitar slash has been raised to LV2. Congratulations to host, the level of scimitar slash has been raised to LV3. Congratulations, host, the machete cutting skill level has been raised to LV4. Congratulations to host, the level of scimitar slashing has been raised to LV99. The system prompts sounded continuously. Every time the skill is upgraded by one level, the power of the scimitar cutting technique will be significantly improved. In just a few breaths, the scimitar chopping technique, B-Boj, rose to the full level in one breath, and a max logo appeared behind it. It is unexpected. Ling Yun thought it was over, but the system prompt sounded again. Congratulations to host, you have gained extra talents and insight into weaknesses. No, Ling Yun was stunned. To be reasonable, the scimitar slicing technique is just an entry-level move, and it is also one of the most commonly used moves by Sister Hua. Didn't expect this can also awaken additional talents? Ling Yun couldn't help but smashed his tongue, suspecting that he had activated the aura of full-level luck. This is so lucky. Afterwards, Ling Yun quickly opened the panel and glanced at the talent description. Open black lens bracket weakness insight close black lens bracket, talent effect. When performing the slashing competition, there is a certain chance of seeing weaknesses. If you attack the weak point, the slashing power will be multiplied close black lens bracket. Doubling power? The talent is still as powerful as ever? Ling Yun suddenly became ecstatic. The power of the slash is multiplied, and its effect is self-evident, and it can even play a role of surprise. But having said that, why does this weakness insight talent feel so familiar? Ling Yun thought for a moment, and soon found the answer. That's right, that is the Sword Girl in League of Legends. The effect of its passive talent is roughly the same as that of Ling Yun's awakened talent. So, isn't he possessed by a Sword Girl? Ling Yun couldn't laugh or cry at once. He had already been deeply touched by the bravery of Wushuang's Sword Girl. He never imagined that there would be a day when he would master Wushuang's sword skills. The weak point is broken, and the power is doubled. After reaching the full level, the scimitar cutting technique will bring unexpected surprises. Ling Yun? At this time, Sister Hua's voice sounded. Ling Yun quickly recovered, but saw Unohana Retsu looking at him with strange eyes. There seemed to be a subtext in her eyes. Ling Yun, although she is very talented, she is often in a daze, as if she is easy to think wildly. Ahem. Sorry, I was just adjusting my status. Ling Yun smiled awkwardly, and then raised Yan Mo. Scimitar slash. No fancy tricks. Ling Yun swung the death scythe, accumulated Ryotsu on the blade, and slashed forward. Clatter. Accompanied by the surge of black light. A slash in the shape of a crescent moon, almost to the point of substance, landed heavily on the marble floor. In an instant, the ground of the sword hall shook violently. Even with the murderous stone blocking it, it still couldn't resist the sharpness of crescent slash wave. How can that be? Sister Hua, who was originally calm, let out an exclamation when she saw the scene in front of her. That is because, at the point where her line of sight fell, the crescent-slash-wave actually penetrated the ground, tearing a ravine out of thin air. Ling Yun's full-level scimitar cutting technique can ignore the murderous stone. Chapter 87 The Female Shinigami Association. You actually put the murderous stone floor all the way through? Looking at the pitch-black gully that appeared on the ground, Unohana Retsu's expression became extremely complicated. The murderous stone barrier can block all Ryotsu. This is one of the consensus of the Soul Society, even to the point where everyone knows it. Even if he is as strong as the captain, with more than 2,000 years of Ryotsu accumulated in his body, he will definitely be restricted by the killing chi stone. The old man is like this, and Sister Wa is also like this. But Ling Yun showed his own experience, relying on his unique talent in the scimitar cutting technique that has been upgraded to the full level. He directly penetrated the floor of the sword hall. As a teacher, I witnessed this scene with my own eyes. Sister Hua's inner shock can be imagined. She could hardly believe her eyes. More importantly, from beginning to end, Ling Yun has a relaxed expression and looks effortless. This easygoing appearance aroused Sister Hua's amazement. As a first-generation Kenpachi, Unohana Retsu asked herself that no matter how hard she tried, it might not have the same effect. The power of the full-level scimitar slashing technique. Let her have a bright feeling. Maybe it's luck, I just shot step by step. Looking at the cracks in the marble floor, Ling Yun also showed a satisfied smile. Not really by luck, but because of the talent of weakness insight. At the moment of the shot just now, to Ling Yun's surprise, a weakness appeared on the floor. Ling Yun made a logical move and shot at the weak point, which is why it created an astonishing scene. And after this shot, Ling Yun was even more amazed at the power of talent. The insight into weaknesses is not hindered by anything, even murderous stones are no exception. The perfect talent. Ling Yun, after today's training, I can fully feel that your talent in kendo practice will definitely achieve something in time. Unohana Retsu gave a very high evaluation. From her perspective, being able to give such an evaluation shows how outstanding Ling Yun's talent is. Captain Unohana Retsu, thanks to your patient teaching, I was able to get started quickly. Please give me more advice in the future. Ling Yun is as humble as ever. By the way, there is another matter that I need to inform you in advance. Unohana Retsu nodded in relief, and then moved to another topic. What's the matter? Ling Yun expressed curiosity. Actually, after this morning, the news that you joined the 4th team has spread throughout Gode 13. If you guess correctly, the Women's Shinigami Association will list you as the cover character of the next issue of the magazine, and it will definitely attract a hot topic at that time. Unohana Retsu's words stunned Ling Yun. Women's Shinigami Association? Magazine cover? What the hell are these? Actually, there is no need to be confused, these are very normal things. As if he had expected Ling Yun's expression, Unohana Retsu had a rare playful smile. Not only you, but even the kid named Byakuya from the Kuchiki family is also sought after by the majority of female Shinigami. Puff. Ling Yun almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. The little devil named Byakuya. Isn't it that cold facial paralysis, Byakuya Kuchiki? Suddenly, Byakuya Kuchiki appeared in Ling Yun's mind. A figure like a millennium ice. Of course, that is the image of 100 years later. At this time, the current captain of the 6th Division is the Grandpa Kuchiki Yinling with facial paralysis. As for Byakuya Kuchiki, he's just a brat who gets teased by Yoruichi a lot and hasn't even joined Gode 13 yet. Think here. Ling Yun suddenly thought of an evil idea. If there is a chance, he will also go to the Kuchiki family mansion to find a chance to torture the facial paralysis of the juvenile body. Captain Unohana Retsu, according to what you're saying, don't I become a star? Ling Yun shrugged. Please. This is the first day of joining the team. The speed of becoming popular is too fast. Don't worry, you'll get used to it soon, because I'm also a member of the Women's Shinigami Association. Unohana Retsu made a rare unsolicited joke. No way? Captain, are you also a member of the fan circle? Ling Yun was stunned for a moment. He really didn't expect that with the status of Sister Wa, she would be interested in this aspect. 10. Let Sister Wa become her fan. I guess it doesn't get any better than this. That's right, I'm the vice president of the association, so I know more about the magazine and will participate in it. Unohana Retsu gave an unexpected answer. Ask for flowers. This is too beautiful, looks like I have to work harder. Ling Yun suddenly became full of motivation. Not only in terms of strength, but also in terms of fandom, it is necessary to win the favor of Sister Wa. Ling Yun, be mentally prepared. If there is no accident, you will be a frequent visitor to the magazine of the Women's Association in the future. Unohana Retsu smiled gracefully. Ling Yun was speechless and silent. It seems that talent alone is not enough, appearance is also very important. Fortunately, he has both, and it is no surprise that he is sought after. Finally, with the end of this topic, the two left the sword hall together. The first day of practice is successfully concluded. Point 0 Night fell. Squad 4 team building, player dormitory area, Ling Yun's personal dormitory. Full-level divine healing technique, full-level scimitar cutting technique, today's harvest is really rich. Ling Yun sat cross-legged on the floor, laying Zanpakutō flat in front of him. On the first day of joining the team, 2 talents were awakened, and the strength has been greatly improved. It's a perfect day. Immediately afterwards, Ling Yun made a bold move. He took Zanpakutō out of its scabbard and held it flat in front of him. Full-level divine healing. I don't know how heaven-defying your power is. Holding strong expectations, Ling Yun simply raised Zanpakutō and waved towards his arm. Prickly accompanied by a crisp sound. The air in the dormitory suddenly filled with a pungent bloody smell. On Ling Yun's arm, a deep bloodstain appeared due to the cutting of the blade. That's right. In order to test the effect of divine healing, he chose the method of self-mutilation. Subsequently, with a thought, Ling Yun used his natural ability. An unbelievable scene happened immediately. Yi accompanied by the sound of surging waves, Ling Yun's body suddenly emerged, countless dazzling holy lights. Everything is illuminated like a holy light, exuding a holy radiance. Shrouded by the holy light, the deep bloodstain on the arm healed in an instant. Spiritual healing shows a heaven-defying effect. Chapter 88 The Hostility of Seinosuke Yamada. Ads by Bid Gear Ling Yun's personal bedroom. Shrouded by the divine radiance, the whole room became translucent, exuding a dazzling golden luster. After Kaido reached the full level and awakened the extra talents, even the color changed dramatically. It was no longer the original emerald green, but the afterglow of the holy light. It's too convenient. It's almost just a thought, and the wound on the body heals instantly, and the effect of the full-level skill is indeed heaven-defying. Ling Yun couldn't help but sigh with emotion. As the holy light gradually dissipated, the original bloodstain on the arm had disappeared without a trace. Not only that, the skin at the scar location is white and smooth as if reborn, and its texture is several times stronger than before. This surprise little detail immediately caught Ling Yun's attention. Could it be that after being cured by the spirit therapy, the physique will improve to a certain extent? Ling Yun suddenly had a bold guess at 170? If his guess is true, then the divine healing technique is really amazing. The more injuries you have on your body, the stronger your physique will be after healing, and the more energetic you will become. From this point of view, this special fighting style is like another Zaraki Kenpachi. If you have a chance, you must return to the Zaraki area and have another fight with Zaraki Kenpachi. Ling Yun satisfied Zanpakutō into his belt. He is looking forward to learning more skills, and also looking forward to the awakening of more talents. With the heaven-defying plug-in, unlimited skill points, even the most humble basic moves may bring unexpected surprises. The next day, the 4th Division Isle. Early in the morning, Ling Yun rushed to the training ground. After all, he is a newcomer. Although he is a genius, Ling Yun does not stand alone. Along the way, the passers-by of Division 4 will all nod to Ling Yun. Yesterday, the scene where Ling Yun and Sister Hua left the team office and went to the backyard of the team building together was watched by most people. After a day and a night of fermentation, it has spread throughout the 4th team. Ling Yun was favored by the captain as soon as he arrived, and with the shrewdness of the other team members, he naturally knew how to show his favor immediately. Of course, not everyone is like this, and being kind to Ling Yun is too much. After all, no matter which world you are in, as long as there are groups, there will be competition. But there is competition, naturally there is comparison, and it is also accompanied by jealousy. There are also such people in the 4th team that seems to be Buddhist. Ling Yun. Come to the training ground so early. I can't see that you are quite hardworking. No wonder you have become famous in such a short period of time. Not long after Ling Yun had just arrived at the training ground, a voice that sounded a bit yin and yang suddenly sounded from behind him. You are. Ling Yun turned around and looked at the other party carefully. What came into view was a slightly thin figure wearing a black death tyrant outfit. This is a man with a long and narrow face, fair but somewhat cloudy, and a hint of malice in his eyes. Although this strange man had a special appearance, Ling Yun looked at him again and again, but he still didn't have a clear impression, and he really couldn't remember who he was. But Ling Yun probably saw some clues from the surroundings and the gazes of other Shinigami. Obviously the strange man in front of him is not low in the 4th team. It's our first meeting. My name is Yamada Seinosuke, and I'm the 3rd seed of the 4th squad. Please give me your advice in the future. Feeling Ling Yun's doubts, this strange man who had never met before, introduced himself. 3 seats in the 4th team? Ling Yun immediately took another look. The memory that was somewhat vague at first has also come to light because of this. Yamada Seinosuke. Think about it carefully, this name seems familiar. Ling Yun frowned slightly, trying to search for relevant memories from the memory bank. Ling Yun, you're new here, it's normal that you're not used to it. After all, this is not the Junyang Academy, and everything needs to start from scratch. When Ling Yun was silent, Yamada Seinosuke made a sarcasm. Anyone who is familiar with his character can clearly hear the hidden aim in these words. No, it's not that I'm not used to it. On the contrary, I think the 4th team is pretty good. Ling Yun didn't remember it for a while, so he was forced to stop recalling it. Really, it seems that I am worrying too much. The corners of Yamada Kiyonosuke's mouth rose, and an inexplicable arc was drawn. I thought that you, who only graduated in half a year, would not be able to adapt to the slow-paced life here, but I didn't expect you to blend in very quickly. But, Seinosuke Yamada paused for a moment, and continued bluntly, Ling Yun, I still think that you don't quite fit with the fourth team, and staying here is a bit overkill. Is this driving people away in disguise? Ling Yun felt the false hypocrisy from the other party's smile. Yamada Seinosuke seems to be thinking of himself, but in fact it is just pure jealousy. As for the specific reason, Ling Yun is not yet clear. Just then, there was a sound of footsteps not far away. Katetsu Izan, adjutant of the fourth team, came to Ling Yun with a smile. Ling Yun, that's great. So you are here, so I will look for you everywhere. Vice Captain, Vice Captain, Vice Captain. After seeing Katetsu Izan, the other team members around all made respectful gestures. Only Seinosuke Yamada stood indifferently, looking at Katetsu Izan with obvious hostility. Hey, this look, could there be some story in it? Ling Yun had a strong intuition that the vice captain and third seed of the fourth team must have had some grievances in the past. If not, the atmosphere will not become so stiff. Ling Yun, let's go. Follow me directly to Team Affairs Room 2.7, you don't need to participate in the training camp. Facing Yamada Seinosuke's hostility, Katetsu Izan directly chose to ignore it. Okay, I happen to have some difficult points, and I plan to ask the captain for advice. Ling Yun readily agreed and was about to leave. Seinosuke Yamada interrupted suddenly. Pull. 4. Vice Captain Yang Yin, Ling Yun is just a new team member, why don't he have to participate in the training camp? Yamada Seinosuke glared at each other angrily. Don't you think this breaks the rules and is unfair to the other players? Still waiting for Katetsu Izan to answer, Seinosuke Yamada played an emotional card, trying to incite the emotions of the other team members. His two consecutive questionings immediately brought the atmosphere of the scene to a freezing point. In an instant, the entire training ground was as silent as a pool of stagnant water. Chapter 89 Crazy Bet. Vice Captain Yang Yin, I'm not in line with the rules, am I? Ling Yun and Katetsu Izan were about to leave when they were stopped by Seinosuke Yamada. Seinosuke 3 seats, what do you mean? Katetsu Izan frowned, and his expression became slightly displeased. She has short light purple hair. Although her dressing style is neutral, her personality is timid and introverted. Katetsu Izan, as Sister Hua's follower, obeys Unohana Retsu's orders. Over the years, he has been doing his job well, and gradually won the favor of the fourth team. But, anyone can clearly tell that facing Yamada Seinosuke, Katetsu Izan seems a bit lacking in confidence. The two seem to have had some conflicts, he. What I mean is obvious. When I was an adjutant, there was no such precedent, how can I break the rules now? What Yamada Seinosuke said revealed an important message. Adjutant. Ling Yun immediately caught 11 key words. I really can't tell that this somewhat feminine-looking third seat was once the adjutant of the 4th Division. Ling Yun took another look at him. The tone of speech is also good, the attitude of the team members is also good, and all words and deeds. It seems to confirm the words of Yamada Seinosuke, in the past period of time, he was indeed the adjutant of the 4th team. Yamada. No wonder it's so familiar. If I'm not mistaken, he should be Hanataru's big brother, right? Ling Yun finally remembered an important clue related to Yamada Seinosuke's identity. Yamada Hanataro. In the plot of the original book, this gentle and timid man who serves as the 7th seat, once helped Ichigo in Jingling, and will use Kaido for healing. Although there are not many appearances, Yamada Hanataro has repeatedly carried out emergency rescues. Ling Yun never expected that the 3rd seed of the 4th team 100 years ago was actually Hanataru's big brother. More importantly, the personalities of the two are completely different, and it is almost impossible to associate them together. Just while Ling Yun was meditating, Katetsu Izan and Yamada Seinosuke had a dispute in full view. Miss Seinosuke, this is the captain's order. If you have any opinions, you can ask the captain face to face. Katetsu Izan mustered up his courage and responded not to be outdone. Vice Captain Yuyin, it seems that after being the vice captain for several years, you have learned how to use the captain to suppress others. This method doesn't work for me at all. Yamada Seinosuke sneered. More than 10 years ago, he was indeed the adjutant of the 4th squad, second only to Unohana Retsu in the team. At that time, Katetsu Izan was only in the position of the 5th seat, and had not yet been supported by Sister Hua. If there is no accident, due to the particularity of the 4th team, the position will basically not change much. But things took a turn for the worse. At that time, Yamada Seinosuke, although he respected Sister Hua very much, but because of his position as an adjutant, it was inevitable that he would become a little swollen after a long time. Coupled with his own personality, he not only has a radical style of doing things, but also pursues some extreme things. Among them, the prohibited human experiments are included. Although Yamada Seinosuke is impeccable in his work and enjoys a high right to speak in the 4th team, but his experiments still leaked. So, he was naturally targeted by the stealth maneuver. Urahara Kazuki's management team targeted Yamada Seinosuke, conducted a rigorous investigation on him, and finally learned the truth about human experiments. He was supposed to be expelled from the team and imprisoned in a maggot nest. However, the kind-hearted Sister Hua came forward to mediate this matter under the old relationship, and saved Yamada Seinosuke. However, he also received the punishment he deserved. Not only was he removed from the position of vice captain, but he was also ordered not to participate in any rescue missions, and he could only teach new players in the fourth team. To put it bluntly, although in name, Yamada Seinosuke is still the third seat, but in fact it is no different from the mascot. This is the source of the contradiction. Miss Seinosuke, I don't want to have a pointless dispute with you, just mind your own business. Katetsu Izan retorted with a red face. A matter of duty. You're right. Yamada Seinosuke looked at Ling Yun and finally clarified the hatred value. My current duty is to teach the new team members. So, Yamada Seinosuke deliberately lowered his voice, with malicious eyes in his eyes, and said in a cold voice, unless he is approved by me, I don't think he is qualified to make an exception. Seinosuke 3 seats. You've been laying the groundwork for so long, so it's because of this matter? Before Katetsu Izan could respond, Ling Yun took the initiative to stand in front of her. Ling Yun, you don't have to talk to her. Katetsu Izan was anxious. She is very clear about Yamada Seinosuke's character, and with the other party's skill and methods, ordinary newcomers are not opponents at all. In Katetsu Isan's opinion, if there is a real conflict, Ling Yun is likely to suffer. Vice Captain Yang Yin, don't worry, I'll make him speechless. Ling Yun measured his body slightly, and showed a confident smile at Katetsu Izan. Ling Yun's handsome and flawless face, against the background of this gentle smile, reveals impeccable handsomeness. At this moment, Katetsu Izan was stunned, looking a little dazed. As if infected by the smile, even she didn't expect that there was a feeling of heartbeat. It seems that you were quite confident. Yamada Seinosuke seemed unmoved, but a sinister and cunning look flashed through the depths of his pupils. The aggressiveness before, just 020 is for this moment. The reason why he started trouble was not only because of jealousy, but also because he was sure that Ling Yun would not Kaido. After all, the time to join the team is only 1 day. To master Kaido in such a short period of time, no matter who you are, you will feel that it is impossible. This is the source of Yamada Seinosuke's confidence. However, he didn't expect that he would make a mistake this time. Sanshi Seinosuke, according to what you said just now, if you want to get your approval, you must master Kaido, right? Ling Yun asked calmly. That's right, unless I have mastered Kaido and reached the level of Grandmaster, I don't think I'm qualified, and I can arbitrarily miss the training camp. Seinosuke Yamada had a tough attitude. It turned out that it was just this matter. Ling Yun agreed without hesitation in a relaxed tone, and even asked the other party, Seinosuke Sanshi, since the words have been said to this extent, let's compare with you. Competing Kaido with me? Yamada Seinosuke was taken aback for a moment, and then smiled contemptuously. Ling Yun, if you are afraid, there is no need to make such a joke. No, I mean it. Ling Yun looked at each other sharply. Let's bet on my position. If I win, then please give up the position of the third seat. Otherwise, I will take the initiative to leave the fourth team. It was beyond everyone's expectations. Ling Yun directly proposed a crazy bet. Chapter 90 happy to mention the third seat of the fourth team. It was beyond everyone's expectations. Ling Yun offered a crazy bet. Have you all heard clearly? Under the witness of all of you, I will have a fair Kaido contest with Seinosuke 3 seats. Ling Yun stood with his hands tied behind him, staring at the 4 squadrons around him, taking a panoramic view of everyone's faces. No way. Brother Ling Yun is on top. Kaido, Seinosuke's third seat, is second only to the captain in the entire fourth team. Even if he learns Kaido, he won't be able to win. The fourth team members whispered to each other. Most of them held a pessimistic attitude and were not optimistic about Ling Yun's victory. Regardless of seniority and status, in terms of Kaido proficiency, Yamada Seinosuke is absolutely sure to win. Ling Yun, why don't you just forget about it? There's no need to pay attention to his provocation. Katetsu Izan moved to Ling Yun's side, tugging at the hem of his clothes and said. Not to mention Ling Yun, even if he is an adjutant, Katetsu Izan himself is not sure that he can win Yamada Seinosuke in this aspect of Kaido practice. Therefore, in her opinion, this bet must be lost. Vice Captain Yang Yin, there's no need to worry, this bet will be over soon. Ling Yun smiled confidently. Boom. Not seeing any movement from Ling Yun, a powerful Ryotsu burst out. The special Ryotsu that is so familiar with the fusion spreads in the air like waves, and a slight ripple spreads out, and the surrounding soldiers are scattered away. While painful wailing sounded one after another. Every Kido team member present, oppressed by the Ryotsu falling from the sky, all flew upside down like cannonballs, rolling on the ground in a state of embarrassment. Although Ling Yun's Ryotsu is only at the level of an adjutant. But the fourth team, after all, is the weakest team among the 13 teams. Therefore, Ling Yun easily suppressed the audience simply by his aura. Ling Yun. What do you mean? Shrouded in the majestic Ryotsu, Yamada Seinosuke's complexion is also not good. Although unlike the other team members, who suffered injuries of varying degrees, he still felt that his breathing became dull and he felt like he couldn't breathe. It's not interesting. Since there is a competition, there must be injuries, right? Ling Yun completely ignored the other party's questioning. Hateful. Ueda Seinosuke gritted his teeth, but couldn't refute for a moment. Although Ling Yun's actions just now were sudden, they had appropriate reasons. Tell me, how do you compare? Yamada Sanosuke calmed down and asked back with an upset face. It's very simple. I made a rough estimate. There are about 30 team members injured here. Ling Yun glanced around without any trace. The 3 seats of Sanosuke, divide all the wounded into 2 groups, and see who can heal all their injuries in the shortest time. Ling Yun proposed the rules of the competition. Due to his deliberate control, Ryotsu suppressed just now, causing only minor injuries. Therefore, everyone's injury is roughly the same, and there is no deviation. Competing for the length of treatment time, Yamada Sanosuke agreed without hesitation. Ling Yun, I hope that after the matter is over, you will keep your promise. The corners of Yamada Sanosuke's mouth turned up, holding a surefire attitude, as if he had foreseen Ling Yun's end. The length of the treatment time, from another perspective, is the control of Kaido's proficiency. The higher the proficiency, the higher the degree of Ryotsu conversion, and the more obvious the healing effect. That's why he agreed so readily. Quickly, this Kaido showdown begins. Just like the rules established before, all the wounded were divided into 2 equal groups, each standing on both sides of the training ground. Ling Yun and Yamada Sanosuke, respectively, performed Kaido treatment. But, some time after the treatment started, Sanosuke Yamada efficiently completed the treatment of the 5 wounded. On the other hand, Ling Yun remained motionless, standing there with a relaxed expression on his face, and had no intention of treatment at all. What the hell is Ling Yun doing? Doesn't he want to stay in the 4th team? Katetsu Izan, watching from the sidelines, broke out in a hot sweat. It's fine if you don't treat it, but you are still in a daze leisurely, and even whistled. What the hell is going on? What made Katetsu Izan even more speechless was that after feeling his anxious gaze, Ling Yun took the initiative to smile and signaled, and the leisurely expression on his face deepened. His behavior is completely dizzy. Could it be that Ling Yun did it on purpose? I think he should have regretted it, and probably doesn't want to stay in the 4th team. Actually, it is also understandable that with his talent and strength, he is actually more suitable for other teams. But even if you want to quit the 4th team, you can't use this method? The other onlookers also looked at each other in blank dismay. They couldn't figure out Ling Yun's intentions at all. HMPH. Pretending to be mysterious. The time left for you is wrong. After treating a team member again, Yamada Sanosuke paused for a while, deliberately looking at Ling Yun. On his side, there are only a dozen wounded left, and the treatment can be completed in half an hour. Therefore, in Yamada Sanosuke's view, there is no longer any suspense in the Kaido duel between him and Ling Yun. After half an hour, he will be able to see with his own eyes, Ling Yun get out of the 4th Division team building. Time passed by every minute and every second. 25 minutes passed in the blink of an eye. On Yamada Sanosuke's side, there were only the last 2 wounded left, and the treatment was about to be completed. In the past 25 minutes, Ling Yun still did not take any action. It seemed that he had chosen to give up. Ling Yun. If you have any other thoughts, just tell them all. There is not much time left for you. Yamada Sanosuke skillfully performed Kaido, and once again healed a soldier. There is only 1 wounded left. Oops. Contrary to everyone's expectations, Ling Yun, Zhao Qianhao, who had been silent all this time, finally took the initiative to speak up. 3 seats of Sanosuke, I have to complain. Your movements are too slow. What? Yamada Sanosuke frowned slightly. He didn't quite understand, at this moment, how could Ling Yun have the confidence to ridicule. I've been waiting for you for 25 minutes, and I almost fell asleep. Ling Yun stretched comfortably and yawned casually at the same time. Next. Outline, it's your turn to give up the position of the 3rd seat. Ling Yun's eyes immediately became extremely sharp. The moment the voice fell, with a thought, Ling Yun used his natural ability. What happened in the dormitory was repeated again. Wow. Accompanied by the sound of surging waves, Ling Yun's body suddenly emerged, countless dazzling holy lights. Everything shines like a holy light, exuding a sacred afterglow. Divine healing activated. Chapter 91 Make history again. Ads by Bid Gear after Ling Yun used the talent of divine healing. An astonishing scene suddenly happened in the training field of the 4th Division team building. Wow. Accompanied by the sound of surging waves, Ling Yun's body suddenly emerged, countless dazzling holy lights. Everything shines like a holy light, exuding a sacred afterglow. The sudden scene immediately attracted countless eyeballs. What kind of trick is this? Every figure on the scene, no matter the team member or the chief officer, after being illuminated by the sacred brilliance, expressions of fear and anxiety appeared on their faces. Even Katetsu Izan took a step back subconsciously, trying to get rid of the shroud of the holy light. But just a few seconds later, she restrained all her expressions, and a look of surprise burst out of her eyes. What? This feeling is very familiar. How is it like Kaido's fluctuation? Katetsu Izan sensed again and again. The more he felt, the more familiar he became, and finally he was completely stone-hammered. Also shocked was Sanosuke Yamada. He stands on the other side of the training ground, and because he is not far from Ling Yun, he feels more deeply than Katetsu Izan. It turns out that Kaido can be activated in a large area, and the healing effect is more than 10 times better than before. Although Yamada Sanosuke tried his best to restrain himself, he still couldn't hide the shock on his face. Unwillingly, he stretched out his palm and touched the sacred radiance in midair. Holding 127 of them, a ray of holy light in the palm of his hand, and sensing the endless fluctuations contained in it, Yamada Sanosuke's mentality completely exploded. Just this ray of divine radiance, the healing effect contained in it, easily surpassed his Kaido. Not to mention the other corners of the training ground, there are thousands of holy lights, almost covering all directions. There were no signs, no chants, no movements. Ling Yun did all this easily with just a thought and consumed a small amount of Ryatsu. More importantly, the whole healing process, even less than 10 seconds. 10 seconds and 20 minutes form a stark contrast, so it goes without saying which one is stronger and weaker. This is a Kaido duel. Ling Yun won without any suspense. Ling Yun, how on earth did you do it? Yamada Sanosuke had a look of disbelief, and he still couldn't believe it until this moment. Kaido treatment, even Unohana Retsu, still can't make it to this step. I'm afraid that in the entire Soul Society, only the one from Team Zero can achieve large-scale healing. Of course, Sanosuke Yamada, who is just an ordinary Shinigami, doesn't know the existence of Team Zero. BBFH, and naturally he can't understand the scene in front of him. Although he was unwilling, he was convinced of the defeat. Is this important? Sanosuke, in the half hour just now, I have given you enough respect. I hope you will not go back on your word. Ling Yun did not continue to use the team name. Now that the result has been announced, according to the previous agreement, the defeated Yamada Sanosuke must give up the 3 seats. After all, this Kaido duel was witnessed by more than 200 team members. So in line with the laws of Gode 13, I would lose to a brat. Yamada Sanosuke had a complicated expression. Although he has a sinister and cunning character, there is indeed something worthy of praise in terms of Kaido's ability, otherwise he would not have become an adjutant in the first place. But now, the most proud ability was defeated by a rookie in public. This kind of blow directly hits the soul, which is even more unacceptable. Just then, in the direction of the team office, Sister Hua's elegant and outstanding figure appeared in the sight of everyone. Team leader, team leader, team leader. After seeing this quiet and elegant figure on the training field, the team members stopped their movements and cast awe-inspiring gazes at her. In the 4th team, no one can shake Sister Hua's status. Even Sanosuke Yamada, after seeing Unohana Retsu's appearance, still like a mouse seeing a cat, restrained all his sharpness and became respectful for 10 seconds. As an old man, he is naturally very aware of the position of his captain in the entire jingling court. It is no exaggeration to say that besides the old man, Sister Hua is the most unfathomable powerhouse. Captain, I'm very sorry, I didn't expect to alarm you, in fact. Katetsu Izan has an anxious expression on his face, intending to explain clearly to Sister Hua. But before she finished speaking, she was interrupted immediately. Yongyan, you don't need to explain, I know exactly what happened. On Sister Hua's beautiful face, a relieved smile appeared, as gentle as a ray of breeze. The atmosphere that had previously enveloped the audience disappeared in an instant because of the appearance of this smile. Sister Hua eased the conflict as soon as she appeared on the stage. Captain Unohana Retsu, Yamada Sanosuke rarely regained his sanity. He was like a child who made a mistake, with his head lowered in fear, and he was not aggressive at all at the beginning. Sanosuke, you don't have any objections to this Kaido duel, right? Unohana Retsu raised her eyes slightly, watching the other party calmly. I am convinced that I lost. No matter how hard it is in his heart, Sanosuke has to admit that he is indeed inferior to others. In this case, I'm willing to bet and admit defeat, and everything will be implemented as discussed at the beginning. Unohana Retsu nodded slightly. In fact, Sister Hua has been secretly paying attention from the beginning to the end. Even though she was not at the scene, she still knew the ins and outs of the whole thing with her extraordinary Ryatsu perception. The reason why Sister Hua has not come forward is that on the one hand, it is to maintain justice, and on the other hand, it is to take this opportunity to learn about Ling Yun's level of Kaido practice. In fact, after the divine healing technique was performed, she was equally astonished. Even though she was separated by a long distance, even if she stayed in the team room, she still felt a faint, subtle divine light shining. Super large range of instant healing. It completely subverted Sister Hua's concept, and the state of mind that has been silent for more than 2,000 years has also undergone violent fluctuations. Captain, follow the rules, I will accept any result. After saying these words helplessly, Yamada Sanosuke remained silent. Deprived of the position of 3 seats in public, completely reduced to an ordinary soldier. This is undoubtedly an unacceptable result for Yamada Sanosuke, but he can only accept his fate. Ling Yun. After making a fair disposition, Unohana Retsu shifted his gaze and landed on Ling Yun. From today onwards, you will replace Sanosuke as the 3rd seed of the 4th team. The words fell. Every figure present, be it Katetsu Izan or the other officers and soldiers, all showed complicated expressions. To know, this is Ling Yun's 2nd day in the team. The promotion speed is close to the speed of light, even if you have witnessed the process with your own eyes, it still feels too dreamy. It also means, Ling Yun made history once again. Chapter 92 Ashura Phantom soon after, with the appearance of Unohana Retsu and a fair verdict. The conflict finally came to an end, the team members went back to training, and the fourth team also restored the original order. In the team room, the bright and warm sunlight, through the gaps in the windows, reflected a faint halo on the ground. The unique classical style, together with the furniture made of sandalwood, as if you can't help but relax as long as you are in this room. There was a faint fragrance in the air. Unohana Retsu sat cross-legged in front of the wooden desk, and was gracefully playing with the tea set. In addition to kendo and medical skills, she has also reached the level of a master in the tea ceremony. More importantly, all the tea utensils are all made by Sister Wa herself, and her craftsmanship is amazing. The more you get in touch, the more you understand. The more Ling Yun feels, this gentle and watery woman is like a treasure, and she will always have inexhaustible advantages. Ling Yun, I hope you don't take what happened today to your heart. Unohana Retsu lifted the teapot and poured a full cup of tea into the empty cup in front of Ling Yun. The tea is rich and full of fragrance. Just by smelling it, Ling Yun feels refreshed. Captain Unohana Retsu, I don't want to hold grudges so much, after all, there are 3 seats now. There should be more inclusiveness. Ling Yun picked up his teacup and made a joke at the right time. In fact, the change of identity has no substantive significance to Ling Yun. Whether it's 3 seats or team members, in fact, the difference is not big. Even if he replaces Katetsu Izan and becomes the adjutant of the 4th squad, his heart is still full of waves. After all, from the very beginning, the purpose of Ling Yun's selection of the 4th team was to come for Sister Wa alone. As for other things, they are just passers-by. I believe you will take good responsibility. Unohana Retsu smiled lightly, showing a friendly side. Ling Yun, I have always believed in this point. In addition, about Sanosuke, I will discuss with the captain and transfer him away from Gode 13. Unohana Retsu quickly changed the subject. Does this count as expulsion from the team? Ling Yun was surprised. For Yamada Sanosuke, the deprivation of the position of 3 seats is already very serious. As for punishment such as deprivation of team membership, Ling Yun felt that it was not necessary. No, I didn't expel him from the team. My original intention was to let him leave and work in Mushiakuen. Unohana Retsu patiently explained. Mao Xiaoyuan? Ling Yun asked back with a puzzled face. He thought about it carefully, and he had never heard of such an organization in Jingling Court. Ling Yun, you don't have any pain or illness. It's normal if you haven't heard of it. Seeing Ling Yun's confused face, Sister Wa couldn't help smiling. F***K. F***K. Did I read it right? Sister Wa actually showed me an anti-smile? Ling Yun almost couldn't help screaming. He can be 100% sure that at that moment just now, Sister Hua's smile contained another emotion. Feeling the warmth in this smile, Ling Yun had a feeling of being melted, as if his whole body had fallen into a gentle village, and his whole body felt an indescribable sense of joy. Miss Hua's smile instantly captured Ling Yun's heart. Ling Yun, what's the matter? Seeing Ling Yun in a daze, Zijia smiled again. No, I just suddenly felt. Ling Yun seemed hesitant to speak. What? Sister Wa was immediately aroused curiosity. Captain Unohana Retsu, I just think, you look really good today. Ling Yun suddenly turned on the flirting mode. Ling Yun, you. Unohana Retsu chuckled and was immediately amused. For more than 2,000 years, due to her high position all the year round, Sister Wa has a very strong aura. In the eyes of Gode 13 Shinigami, she is a goddess that cannot be offended. Because of this, almost everyone will remain respectful when facing Sister Wa. Even captains of the same level still maintain a lot of respect. And like Ling Yun, in the form of a joke, he took the initiative to talk about love. This is unprecedented. Actually, at the beginning, considering your talent and strength, I didn't want you to stay in the 4th team. After all, there is a place that is more suitable for you. Unohana Retsu took the initiative to confess. But now, I hope you can stay in the 4th division. When Sister Wa said these words, there was a rare blush on that beautiful face. Ask for flowers. That feeling, it's like a young girl, in stark contrast to the usual dignified and stable. If there were outsiders present, they would definitely be stunned. The captain, who has always been noble and elegant, actually has such a tender side. God lol. Captain Unohana Retsu. I also enjoy the atmosphere in the team and the time alone with you, Captain. Ling Yun chuckled and took a sip of hot tea. Even he himself didn't expect that it was originally just for the purpose of practicing swordsmanship. Unexpectedly, inadvertently, she won the favor of Sister Wa and her hide sword. What a big surprise. Okay, let's get down to business. After drinking this cup of hot tea, let's go to the sword hall to practice. Unohana Retsu also picked up the teacup. Not long ago, she just showed her tender side, but when the topic of sword practice was mentioned, she immediately turned into a strict mentor. It can be seen that Sister Hua's persistent pursuit of kendo, no wonder she will become a great swordsman. Soon after, in that old sword hall, Ling Yun and Unohana Retsu stood in the center of the field, each holding a Zanpakutō in their hands. Ling Yun, you have already mastered the basic introductory poses. Let's start learning advanced courses today. Unohana Retsu held Zanpakutō in his hand. A blood-like aura emanated from her body in an instant. Fortunately, after getting along yesterday, Ling Yun has gotten used to this momentum, and is not as shocked as the first time. Captain Unohana Retsu, what is the specific training content? Ling Yun asked expectantly. Ling Yun, I can feel that you should be very eager to get in touch with the evil spirit of Yachinryu Kendo, right? Unohana Retsu chuckled softly. That's right, I really want to master this momentum. Ling Yun's eyes quickly became hot. Strictly speaking, Yachinryu Kendo's evil spirit is similar to Haki in One Piece world, with extra lethality added. If he can master this aura, his Kendo will rise to a higher level. Very good, I can feel the persistence and firmness in your eyes. Unohana Retsu nodded in satisfaction. Today's lesson. It's Mastering Ashura Phantom 7, Chapter 93 The Unique Evil Aura. Ads by Bid Gear Top 10 Sexiest Indian Girls. Who's your favorite? Reclama. Today's lesson. It's about mastering the Ashura Phantom. Unohana Retsu directly named the subject. Ashura Phantom? Ling Yun frowned. Although the name of this move sounds quite powerful, it is extremely unfamiliar to him. In the plot of the original novel, Sister Wa seems to have never used this trick from the beginning to the end. Confused. Capturing Ling Yun's facial expression, Unohana Retsu explained gently, the so-called Ashura Phantom refers to condensing the evil spirit of Yachinryu Kendo into Ashura shadow through guidance. The stronger the evil spirit, the more substantial the shadow. Through this special training method, one can gradually increase one's own control over blood evil spirit. Unohana Retsu briefly described the principle. It turns out that it's like 987. It seems that it is not as easy as imagined to completely grasp the evil spirit. Ling Yun vaguely grasped the clue, but he was still in the fog. Well, let me demonstrate it to you, maybe it will deepen your impression. Sister Wa seemed to see through Ling Yun's mind, and raised her Zanpakutō calmly. Just like what happened before, I didn't see Sister Wa making any movements, and her temperament changed dramatically. The evil spirit hidden in the body is released without reservation. Dark, negative, bloody. The aura emitted by Unohana Retsu inadvertently seemed to come from the bottom of the endless abyss, even giving Ling Yun a real illusion. This is. Ling Yun suddenly opened his eyes wide. The scene in front of him was reflected in his two pairs of pitch-black pupils. Behind Unohana Retsu, the materialized evil spirit condensed and turned into a thick and fierce sea of blood. The sea of blood surged with great momentum. The power of the Bachinryu Sword Dao's evil spirit is vividly reflected at this moment. Captain Unohana Retsu, is this the so-called Phantom of Ashura? When Ling Yun looked at Sister Wa again, she seemed to see a sea of blood. The negative emotions brought about by the evil spirit are like a terrible virus, penetrating into the skin and reaching the deepest part of the brain. If he is not determined enough, he will be easily eroded. If it were someone else, they would be in a temporary coma at the slightest level, or become confused in the worst case, or even perform extreme deeds. This is the terrible thing about evil spirits. That's right, this is the Phantom of Ashura I condensed. It is completely composed of evil spirits and has a strong deterrent effect. Unohana Retsu's eyes are indifferent. Every time she released her evil spirit, she became very strange. No longer the gentle and kind Sister Wa, but a bloodthirsty Shira from hell. Captain Unohana Retsu, as long as I successfully condense the Phantom, I have completed the first step. Ling Yun suddenly had a bold idea. Ling Yun, you really deserve to be a once-in-a-hundred-year genius. You have realized the key point so quickly. Unohana Retsu cast admiring glances at Ling Yun. Through the Phantom, condense the evil spirit, this is the most critical step. It's just a phantom, it's easy to handle, Ling Yun smiled mysteriously. Then with a thought, he cast Shunpo on the spot, brush. Facing Sister Hua's horrified gaze, an identical Ling Yun suddenly appeared within sight. How is this going? Looking at the strange scene in front of him. Rao is used to seeing strong winds and waves in the past, and Sister Hua's expression is also a little dull. Whether it is observed with the naked eye or perceived by Ryotsu. No matter which method is used, Sister Wa can't tell which one is the real Ling Yun. It really makes people break into a cold sweat. Captain Unohana Retsu, it's rare to see you look surprised. The Ling Yun standing on the right side winked mischievously at Sister Wa. Ling Yun. Even if it's just a phantom, what about Ryotsu? After identifying Ling Yun's true identity, Sister Wa was still full of doubts. When she tried sensing again, she found that there was a Ryotsu fluctuation in the phantom's body. Actually, the principle of its existence is similar to Ashura's phantom. It is an afterimage created by me using Shunpo. Ling Yun briefly explained. What? Sister Wa was stunned again. Shunpo was able to create afterimages. The first thing Unohana Retsu thinks of is Yoruichi, who has the title of Flash Goddess. Looking at the entire Soul Society, only her with the speed of Ultimate can do such a thing. Ling Yun, I thought I knew you well enough, but I didn't expect to see you far enough. Unohana Retsu showed a wry smile helplessly. It takes half a day to learn Kaido and master the scimitar cut technique. Shunpo can now also be used to create afterimages. The strength revealed by Ling Yun, time and time again, amazed Sister Wa. Only then did she realize that she had lost her sight. Having the afterimage of Ryotsu, I'm afraid even Yoruichi can't do it. Unohana Retsu's beautiful eyes were full of shock, and the emotion has not calmed down for a long time. Maybe, but it's not important, is it? Ling Yun asked seriously. You are right. Everyone in this world has his own secret. I lost my composure just now. Unohana Retsu finally recovered. She didn't go into detail, but skipped the topic. Even she herself has an unknown past, and Sister Wa is unwilling to bring up the past easily. So she can empathize. Okay, now that the phantom has appeared, let's start to condense the evil spirit. Unohana Retsu smiled gracefully, returning to her usual gentleness. How to do it? Next, follow my instructions and try to gather evil spirits. Ever since, under the guidance of Sister Wa, Ling Yun held Zanpakutō in his hand and began to gather evil spirits. Time flies by so fast. -1.8 in a blink of an eye. Most of the day passed. Inside the abandoned sword hall, the sound of sword chant continued to be heard. Ling Yun held Zanpakutō Yanmo in his hand and waved it again and again. His cheeks and arms were covered with sweat. After an afternoon of special training, under the patient guidance of Unohana Retsu, with the advantages brought by Shunpo, Ling Yun got started easily. Brush, it was another sharp slash. I saw that on Yanmo's blade. In addition to the special fusion Ryotsu, there was also a touch of blood-red luster. If you sense it carefully, you can clearly tell that there is a terrifying evil spirit in it. That's right, after an afternoon of special training. Ling Yun not only condensed the Phantom of Ashura, but also mastered the evil spirit of the 8,000 streams of swordsmanship. Chapter 94. I also want to have a wealthy father. Although it is only normal, there is a dark red luster on Zanpakutō Yanmo's blade. The moment Ling Yun unleashed the slash, he could clearly sense that the power of Crescent Slash Wave had been significantly improved. Obviously, after mastering the evil spirit, the power of his sword skills has become stronger. Ling Yun, it's only been a day, and your control over evil spirits has reached this level. Unohana Retsu couldn't help but marvel, being once again overwhelmed by Ling Yun's talent. 8,000 streams of swordsmanship contains all the schools in the world. If you want to systematically learn all the moves, you must spend a lot of time. However, no matter how many sword skills there are, the core root of them is still the evil spirit of blood. You know, Sister Hua's Zanpakutō Shizuku Kof, its Bankai ability is to exhaust all things. Once Bankai, around Zanpakutō, a large area of blood will ooze out, and the objects touched by the blade will instantly dissolve into blood. It can be seen from this that the evil spirit of blood is the soul. Captain Unohana Retsu, I was just lucky. If it weren't for your careful teaching, I wouldn't have improved so fast. Facing Sister Hua's praise, Ling Yun was still neither humble nor overbearing. To be reasonable, the unpredictable 8,000 streams of Kendo is the biggest trump card on Sister Hua. 11 under normal circumstances, unless they are related by blood, they will not easily reveal their core strengths. But Sister Hua is completely different. Not only is she defenseless against Ling Yun, but she even spends time and effort personally giving advice and formulating a strict training plan for Ling Yun. It is because of her help that Ling Yun was able to quickly master the 8,000 style swordsmanship in a short period of time. Ling Yun, the key to Kendo practice is mentality. You must maintain a pure heart, and don't be complacent. Unohana Retsu urged solemnly. I understand. I will definitely live up to your expectations. Ling Yun's words were resounding, and with the smooth sailing of his practice, he gradually became more confident. Sister Hua glanced at the scenery outside the window, saw the clouds in the sky were dyed red, and said quickly, Okay, since you have mastered the evil spirit, let's stop today's lesson, and think about it after you go back to the dormitory. I will remember the whole practice process well. Ling Yun put Zanpakutō Yanmo away, and then asked impatiently, By the way, I have mastered the evil spirit today, so what is tomorrow's lesson? The practice process was smooth sailing. Ling Yun couldn't wait to learn new things. He is eager to quickly master the 8,000 streams of swordsmanship. However, Ling Yun didn't get the answer she wanted, and instead was poured cold water by Sister Hua. Ling Yun, rushing for success is not a good thing. Take a short vacation in the next 3 days and digest the previous content well. Unohana Retsu sternly urged. What? Ling Yun was very surprised, but he thought about it and soon felt relieved. In the Shinigami world, the time is relatively long, far longer than other two-dimensional worlds. For a Shinigami, 2 or 3 days is almost a short moment. Sister Hua's request is actually reasonable. Then I don't have to participate in the team training? Ling Yun still hopes to stay in the 4th team. No need to participate, anytime in the future, you just need to follow me to train alone. Unohana Retsu put an end to the last glimmer of hope. Okay, then in the next 3 days, I'll go back to Shihouin's mansion. It's been a long time since I went back. Ling Yun shrugged helplessly. In the next 3 days, I will eat and drink at home, and being a salted fish is not bad. Evening. As night falls, the stars shine. The residence of the Shihouin family. Sister Yoruichi, I'm back. Ling Yun had just walked through the gate when he heard a conversation coming from the lobby. Soi Fon, I've said it several times, you don't need to come here specially, I can discuss this matter with Nozomi. Yoruichi's familiar voice sounded. But, Master Yoruichi, one more person is more strength, I want to help too. Even if they only met once before, after hearing this voice, Ling Yun can still imagine Sui Feng's pitiful appearance at the moment. She is like a fanatical fan, and she is crazy about Yoruichi, even to the point of being sick. Sui Feng is cute. This is the nickname Yoruichi specially gave Sui Feng when he was joking. It's really surprising that Sui Feng, the high-cold imperial sister fan, turned out to be a fool for thousands of years. Ling Yun walked towards the lobby dumbfounded. His appearance naturally attracted attention. Ling Yun. Why did you come back suddenly? Are you lazy again? I can't explain to Captain Unohana Retsu. Yoruichi laughed and cursed from the front. Yoruichi said so, but the moment he saw Ling Yun, he almost jumped up from his chair. You can imagine how excited she was. Captain, don't get too excited, be careful to destroy the chair. Another rough voice sounded. It was only then that Ling Yun noticed that besides Yoruichi and Sui Feng, there was another fat and tall figure beside Yoruichi and Sui Feng in the lobby. It was a middle-aged man with a brown airplane head, a fleshy face, sunglasses and a fat figure, exuding a local tyrant temperament. Is this supposed to be? Ling Yun took a few careful glances and immediately recognized the other party's identity. That's right. The middle-aged man with a round physique in front of him is the father of Omeda, the adjutant of the second squad after 100 years. One of the current secret mobile team captains, Omeda Nozomi. No wonder Dachianshin is so rich, it turns out he has a wealthy father. The corners of Ling Yun's mouth twitched slightly. He was blinded 650 times by Nozomi's outfit. He wore a black Seba outfit, surrounded by a purple silk robe, a large gold chain around his neck, and a gold ring on each of his 10 fingers. Nima. This local tyrant style is too exaggerated. No matter how rich you are, you can't show off like that, right? Ling Yun silently gave Shi Jujin a thumbs up in his heart. Local tyrants. Can't afford it, can't afford it. At the same time that Ling Yun was observing the other party, Nozomi's eyes also fell on him. Captain Yoruichi, brother Ling Yun's real person, is more handsome than the rumors. If he appears on the cover of a magazine, he should be able to fascinate the majority of female Shinigami, right? Omeda Nozomi is indeed an old fritter, and he flatters him as soon as he meets him. This exaggeration made even Ling Yun feel embarrassed. And many more. The cover of the magazine you mentioned just now, isn't it a popular magazine specially issued by the Women's Shinigami Association? Ling Yun had a vague guess. That's right, brother Ling Yun, it seems that you know a lot. Omeda Nozomi's face trembled, and he let out a unique hoarse laugh. To tell you the truth, I am the sponsor behind the magazine, so I know a lot about the inside story. Puff. Ling Yun spurted out a mouthful of old blood instantly. What the hell is this? Why are there even sponsors here? He had to sigh with emotion. I also want to have a rich father. Chapter 95. I also want to have a wealthy father. After talking with Shi Jujin, Ling Yun immediately came up with this idea. In the original plot, the most popular Dachin god, although his appearance is plain and even a bit wretched, but when he makes a big deal, he looks extraordinarily handsome and unrestrained. Also wearing a large gold chain, also wearing a gold bracelet. Like his father, Omeda enjoys a noble and luxurious status, and his behavior style is full of local tyrants. The two of them, father and son, are known as Gatsby of Soul Society and Chris Wu of Jingling Court. They seem to be absolutely rich and handsome in the Shinigami world. Now I've seen the real thing with my own eyes. Ling Yun has to admire the 5-body projection. Brother Ling Yun, I forgot to introduce myself. I am the former adjutant of the 2nd Division, and now I am the 2nd Division of the Covert Mobile Unit, the captain of the police patrol team. Please give me more advice in the future. Although Omeda Marichio is a local tyrant, he doesn't have the bad temper of the nouveau riche, and there is nothing wrong with his behavior and conversation. He really deserves to be an old fritter who has been around for many years. In fact, the Omeda family to which he belongs has been a member of stealthy maneuvers for generations. To put it simply, Omeda and Shihouin, similar to the relationship between the head of the family and the retainers, have worked closely together from generation to generation to maintain the glory of secret maneuvers. It is worth mentioning that the Omeda family is extremely rich and is a real family with minds. Even the team building of the second team was repaired by Shi Jujin. He almost took over all the logistics materials of the second team. You can see how rich it is. Ling Yun, I have been mentioning you in front of Nozomi for a while. Please contact me more in the future. Yoruichi said with a light smile. One is the most beloved brother. The other is the most trusted subordinate. Yoruichi wished for a good relationship between the two, so that it could be regarded as paving the way in advance and laying the groundwork for the alternation of future patriarchs. Brother Ling Yun, considering the age difference between us, it seems inappropriate to call him brother, but I also have a son who is cheap, and I can introduce you to him in the future. Nozomi raised his eyebrows suggestively. That cheap son should be Dachin, right? Ling Yun greeted her warmly on the surface, but actually almost laughed out loud. Before returning to Shihouin's mansion, Ling Yun did not expect this scene at all. It's fine to know a local tycoon, but accidentally hit up the oh my god. Looks like he's coming back just in time. The other is Soi Fon, you should have met before. Yoruichi looked to the other side. Soi Fon sat upright, silent from beginning to end. Except for Yoruichi, Soi Fon looks like this when facing everyone else. Cold, arrogant, silent. These are common styles of Soi Fon, and Ling Yun has long been familiar with them. Vice Captain Soi Fon, Ling Yun took the initiative to say hello. Hello. Soi Fon nodded passively in response. All the things that happened in the maggot's lair back then seemed to be vividly remembered and immediately reflected in his mind. In that Shunpo competition, he lost to Ling Yun by an absolute disadvantage, and Soi Fon has always been worried about this. With her unyielding character, she naturally wanted to find her way back. I thought that after Ling Yun graduated, there was a high probability that he would choose the second team, but who knew that he would end up in the fourth team? As a result, Sui Feng's idea finally came to nothing. Now meet again. Of course she was a little nervous. Sui Feng, what's wrong with you? Your complexion seems a bit unsightly. Yoruichi saw the clue at a glance. No. Nothing. Sui Feng muttered softly, the volume was as thin as a mosquito. Speak up. If you have any thoughts, you can just say it out. Anyway, those present are our own people. Yoruichi lightly attacked carelessly. After all, having been together day and night for many years, Yoruichi has more or less enough understanding of each of his subordinates. Especially Sui Feng, a girl who is cold on the outside and hot on the inside, Yoruichi pays special attention to her. Otherwise, she would not have discussed with Marichio in private, asking the big local tycoon to give up his position as adjutant and promote Sui Feng as the new vice captain. Captain Yoruichi, forget it, I think it's a bit abrupt. Sui Feng looked hesitant to speak. Sui Feng, you have been an adjutant for several years, and you should be decisive when you encounter anything. Omeda Marichio expressed that he couldn't stand it any longer. After all, he is a rich and handsome man who spends a lot of money, has a special money ability, and spends a lot of money. Naturally, I can't understand Sui Feng's ink-blotting behavior. Marichio is right, an adjutant should look like an adjutant. If you do this again, I will be angry. Yoruichi directly used his trump card. That. Yoruichi-sama, I'm very sorry. Feng immediately backed off, making Yoruichi angry. She gritted her teeth, with a hint of resentment in her eyes. She mustered up her courage to look at Ling Yun. Ling Yun, you should still remember what happened in the maggot nest last time. So what? Ling Yun has already guessed Sui Feng's intention. Although the time and venue are a bit inappropriate, I still hope to have a duel with you again. Sui Feng gritted his teeth involuntarily. She showed unyielding determination and made an invitation to Ling Yun in person. Tisk tisk tisk. You really deserve to be a cutie, Sui Feng. You really hold grudges. Yoruichi sat on the first seat with an attitude of watching a show and joked. Master Yoruichi, if you think it's inappropriate, then just take it as me talking nonsense just now. Hearing Yoruichi's words, Sui Feng immediately panicked. 1 second he was still aloof and arrogant, but the next second he turned into a cutie. Ling Yun was dumbfounded by the transformation of the two personalities before and after. If this is put in the present world, I'm afraid it will be called a fan of brains. Ling Yun smashed his tongue. Sui Feng, I was just joking, you should do whatever you want, don't care about my opinion and Nozomi's opinion. Sui Feng chuckled heartily. That's right, just go ahead and compete, any damage will be on my head. Omeda's father, Omeda Nozomi, once again showed the generosity of a local tyrant. He waved his big hand, and the words he said seemed extraordinarily attractive. Sometimes, the special, money ability, is more practical than anything else. Ling Yun, what do you say? Yoruichi looked at Ling Yun, blinked mischievously, and gave enough hints. Sister Yoruichi, if you have no objections, then I will not refuse the invitation of Sui Feng's vice captain. Ling Yun showed a gentleman's side and smiled politely at Sui Feng. Very good, I didn't expect it to be so late, and there was still a good show to enjoy. Yoruichi even made hot tea, and he really became a melon-eating crowd. And because of her fanning the flames, the atmosphere in the entire lobby immediately became anxious. Chapter 96 Suzumbaki's 2 hit kills in the southeast of Shihouin's mansion, there is an empty training field. The duel between Ling Yun and Sui Feng, at the suggestion of Yoruichi, chose to take place in this place. In the center of the field, Ling Yun and Sui Feng stood facing each other. Although there was a certain age gap, Ling Yun was taller and looked more mature. One is calm and the other is eager for revenge. Ling Yun and Sui Feng have different mentality, and naturally their expressions are completely different. Nozomi, who do you think will win? I think little Sui Feng seems to be holding his breath. Yoruichi sat on the sandalwood chair, raising his legs loosely without any airs. Although Shihouin is currently the head of the family, he also serves as the captain of the 2nd Division of the Gote and the commander of the secret maneuver. Many titles are integrated into one body, enjoying glory and status. However, Yoruichi's behavior style is different from other big figures in Jinglingting. She is not only approachable but also has a bold personality, so she is very popular. Shihouin's ability to maintain prosperity has a lot to do with Yoruichi's character. It is precisely because of her painstaking efforts that Shihouin, like Kuchiki, can firmly occupy the position of the four nobles. Of course. In the original plot, because of the occurrence of the Hollow Knight incident, in order to save his best friend Urahara Kazuki, Yoruichi was eventually forced to defect to the 087 Soul Society. Since then Shihouin began to decline. Master Yoruichi, actually, I think brother Ling Yun seems quite confident. Omeda Nozomi sat next to Yoruichi, but he didn't look into the field, but kept fiddling with his big gold chain. Rub it, the soft moonlight, like blue silk, shines from the sky. The golden chain shone brightly, reflecting a dazzling luster, which immediately illuminated the entire venue. With the flash shining on his face, Ling Yun almost couldn't open his eyes. He turned sideways helplessly and looked at the source of the light. When he discovered that the local tyrant Uncle Nozomi was concentrating on playing with the big gold chain, Ling Yun's heart twitched violently, and he complained helplessly, "Uncle Shijijin has too many dramas, right? Even if he is rich, he doesn't pretend to be like this." Ling Yun, that's because you don't know enough. This is Shijijin's usual style. Seeing Ling Yun's confused expression, Soi Fon couldn't help but chuckle. It's rare for him to take the initiative to smile. No way? Is it rare for him to show off in such a high-profile way in the team building? Ling Yun was stunned in a daze as if hearing an anecdote. Of course, with the financial power of the Omeda family, even if Nozomi wants to keep a low profile, his strength doesn't allow it. Soi Fon quickly returned to his aloofness. Gold necklaces, gold rings, gold bracelets, these are all very common. Even the personal dormitory, Nozomi specially asked someone to redecorate it with gold, silver and jewelry, and finally refurbished it like a small palace. Soi Fon then revealed a gossip, adorned with gold and silver jewels? Excuse me. Ling Yun struggled a lot to manage the language. The news that Soi Fon revealed had a huge impact on his young heart. Ling Yun has to sigh with emotion. The world of local tyrants is really incomprehensible. Nima. It turns out that the world of Shinigami also pays attention to fighting fathers. No wonder the Ome god, more than 100 years later, has been able to secure the position of adjutant. Ling Yun couldn't help complaining again. Nozomi's series of operations nearly made him dizzy. All right. Are you both ready? Let's start the duel soon. At this moment, Yoruichi's voice came from outside the arena. Obviously she couldn't wait. There are no rules, no restrictions, just do whatever you can. I hope to see a good showdown. Yoruichi was quick to set the rules for this duel. That is, there are no rules. Put aside your identity, your position, and your concerns. This is an absolutely fair duel. Soi Fon, I beat you in Shunpo last time, let's do it in a different way this time. Ling Yun pulled out Zanpakutō Yanmo from his girdle. BBFB, the corner of his mouth raised confidently. Although he doesn't have much contact with Soi Fon, but because of the profit of the characters in the plot, Ling Yun knows the details of Soi Fon. Objectively speaking, Sui Feng's potential and talent can also be among the best among the current 13 vice-captains. Even more because of his strong personality, in Ling Yun's opinion, Sui Feng is the best benchmark to measure. Take her to test the power of Yachinryu Kendo. Apparently it couldn't be more appropriate. Ling Yun, the same thing will never happen a second time. I can't lose to you again. Sui Feng was like 1,000 years of ice, and his words revealed confidence. Her Zanpakutō Suzumaki, in Shikai's case, has a powerful ability, 2-hit kill. Whenever the opponent is hit by Suzumaki, a black butterfly pattern will be reflected on his body, which is the so-called B-pattern flower. If the center point of the B-pattern flower is hit by Suzumaki again, it will show a cross-overlapping appearance, thus triggering the internal prohibition. Unless the Ryotsu is strong enough to resist the erosion of the honeysuckle flower, the person who is hit will die. This is the so-called 2-hit kill. Therefore, in the same competition against Zanpakutō, the confident Suzumaki has an absolute advantage. Miss Sui Feng, you said the same thing last time, be careful that the car overturns again. Ling Yun held Zanpakutō with his backhand, and released words of liberation from his mouth. Used by the evil god, Wei Wu has exhausted his body. Yan Mo Dark Scythe. Ling Yun's words were resounding. The Zanpakutō in his hand, with the sound, emitted a dark light. Haha. It is said that brother Ling Yun's Yan Mo is a thunder-type Zanpakutō? This is a very rare type. The movement of Yan Mo's liberation immediately attracted Nozomi's attention. He stopped the movements in his hands, no longer fiddled with the big gold chain, but stared intently. The black light emitted by Yan Mo was mixed with a dark red luster, and accompanied by a bloody aura. A sudden scene. Even Yoruichi can't sit still, no way? If I remember correctly, this special bloody aura should be the unique power of the Yachinryu Kendo? Yoruichi muttered to himself with a face full of horror. In the distant past, by chance, she once led the way of the Yachinryu sword. That time, the terrifying bloody aura left a deep impression on Yoruichi, which is still vivid in his mind today. Feeling the same fluctuation now, her state of mind naturally changed dramatically. Master Yoruichi, it seems that brother Ling Yun is not as simple as the rumors. Shi Jujin was also suppressed by the evil spirit. He immediately adjusted his emotions, and his expression became extremely solemn. A strong intuition told him, Ling Yun's Zanpakutō Yanmo is about to bring a different surprise. Chapter 97. Just when the two people outside the field were surprised by Shikai's fluctuations, Yanmo's appearance has changed. The life-threatening sickle of Shinigami has black and white lines all over the body, the end of the handle is dark red, and the blade is like a new moon, blooming a dazzling white glow. Ling Yun holds Yanmo in his hand, and his momentum is rising steadily. The intertwining of black light and evil spirit made Ling Yun's temperament completely different in an instant. It is no longer the gentleman and elegance of the past, but has transformed into a blood-thick one, as if he has become a Shira in the depths of hell. What a horrible Zanpakutō! The first to bear the brunt is Soi Fon. She stared at Yanmo firmly, her indifferent snow-like eyes were filled with obvious fear. The mysterious Shinigami sickle in front of me, Shikai alone caused such a big commotion. Even looking at the entire Gode 13, this phenomenon is extremely rare. In addition to Soi Fon, Yoruichi off the court, and Omeda Tetsunoshin. Their eyes fell on Yanmo, and the expressions of the two became more serious, as if they were seeing a monster. It doesn't look like Thunderbolt Zanpakutō, does it? Omeda Nozomi stroked his chin, murmured in a low voice with doubts on his face, Master Yoruichi, why'd I feel that this death scythe is more like Zanpakutō from the Department of Physics? I don't know. Yoruichi shrugged, casually responding. In fact, as one of the insiders, she knew the secret of multi-attribute Ryotsu a few months ago. Therefore, Yoruichi doesn't take the rumors from the outside world too seriously, and laughs it off every time he hears it. Whether it's the flame type, the thunder type, or the flowing water type. In fact, the type of Zanpakutō is not important, the most important thing is how its owner uses it. The screen returns to the venue. Knew it. Anyone who sees Yanmo Shikai for the first time will be overwhelmed by its aura. Ling Yun glanced out of the corner of his eye, seeing the expressions of Yoruichi and others, with a satisfied arc drawn at the corner of his mouth. This deadly Shinigami sickle, the overall appearance of Haki is mighty, accompanied by a mysterious atmosphere. Every release will attract a lot of attention. Soi Fon, you seem to be stunned? This is not like the you I knew before. Ling Yun waved Yanmo lightly, and it caused a gust of wind. Prickly with the piercing sound, an obvious gully was torn into the ground under the feet. Looking at the obvious gully on the ground, Sui Feng's expression became even more embarrassing. No matter how strong her personality was, she had to admit that she was shaken for a moment. But, she finally gritted her teeth and firmly believed. Kill the enemy, Suzumaki. Sui Feng then performed the same Shikai. What was originally a short dagger, Zanpakutō, became a golden bee sting-shaped blade attached to the middle finger. The black lines at the end, like carvings of death, are obviously dangerous and mysterious. Enma, Suzumaki. In terms of ability, it can be classified as Kido Department, Zanpakutō, and it also has the power of death and beheading. Although the appearance of the two Zanpakutō is different, there are similarities. Ling Yun. The so-called Mao's first genius. I will immediately end your glorious deeds. Sui Feng raised his middle finger, with obvious hostility in his words. Her arrogant and stubborn personality made her unable to accept counsel. Miss Sui Feng, it seems that you have pride engraved in your bones, be careful of losing to me for the second time. Ling Yun has already figured out Sui Feng's character, and Ling Yun's expression has not changed much. The same thing doesn't happen twice. Sui Feng seemed to be stimulated, with warmth and anger on his brows. As soon as this sentence fell, she decided to strike first, and her figure disappeared like a ghost. No sign, no action. Sui Feng took advantage of the proficient Shunpo and quickly came to Ling Yun's side. Ling Yun. It seems that you were lucky to win last time, and you have become full of confidence. Sui Feng raised the bee sting on his finger and stabbed towards Ling Yun's body. Bee pattern flower. Suddenly, a black butterfly pattern appeared on Ling Yun's arm. He was imprinted with the mark of bee pattern flower. Huh, Ling Yun didn't dodge. Yoruichi, who was on the sidelines, frowned suspiciously. Shouldn't he? Can't he react? It wasn't that Yoruichi underestimated Sui Feng's speed. But some time ago, she had guided Ling Yun to practice, and she had a general understanding of her younger brother's strength. Also puzzled, including Omeda Nozomi, who also watched. Time is strangely forbidden. Even if he was engraved with the imprint of Funbenwa, Ling Yun's expression remained calm. Ask for flowers. This arrogant gesture immediately enraged Sui Feng. Aren't you going to respond? Ling Yun, as a junior, isn't your attitude too arrogant? Sui Feng's pretty face flushed with anger, she gritted her teeth and raised her finger, raising the sharp bee sting again. Sui Feng aimed at the honeycomb mark, stabbing out with precision and grace. Bee sting hits, hit kills, ended. This is the fate of arrogance. I have shown mercy just now. You will only lie down for half a month at most. Sui Feng put down his arms coldly, and looked at Ling Yun with disdain. The voice fell. She turned around briskly, ready to walk out of the field. However, Ling Yun, who was supposed to fall, appeared in front of him strangely, blocking Sui Feng's retreat. 0. This is Sui Feng's arrogant expression froze instantly. Looking at the smiling Ling Yun within sight, she suddenly widened her eyes. Two-hit kill didn't work? Impossible, absolutely impossible? Surprised. Expecting Sui Feng's expression a long time ago, Ling Yun deliberately teased Sui Feng while raising Yan Mo. Miss Sui Feng, this panic look doesn't match your temperament. Ling Yun. Sui Feng gritted his teeth and shouted. Even if vision can be deceived, Ryatsu's perception can never go wrong. How on earth do you do it? Sui Feng asked almost madly. Does the reason matter? Besides, I didn't mean to deceive you. Ling Yun didn't see any movement either. Facing Sui Feng's gaze, he cast Shunpo again. So, another exactly similar shadow clone has appeared. Using the extra effect of the upgraded skills, Ling Yun easily created afterimages, except for the appearance, and even made Ryatsu fluctuate without any flaws. Now you understand, don't you? Ling Yun didn't bother to explain. Playing around with Sui Feng face to face, suppressing the other party's arrogance, this feeling is simply amazing. Hateful. How could such a thing be done? Sui Feng clenched his fists secretly, showing an expression of unwillingness. The arrogance in her heart was hit hard again by 3. Chapter 98 Yoruichi. Sui Feng lost. Sitting on the sandalwood chair, Yoruichi looked at Sui Feng with a little sympathy. For her little follower, she has always held an appreciative attitude. Possessing the unyielding fighting spirit, this is one of the best qualities in Sui Feng. It's a pity that he chose to challenge Ling Yun again, but he was still defeated by being teased. Such a blow can be imagined. Master Yoruichi, with Sui Feng's strong temper, this blow should be quite serious, right? Omeda Nozashin shook his head with some distress. Sui Feng secretly clenched his fists, gnashing his teeth and staring at the afterimage, his face full of unwilling expressions. Especially after knowing the truth, the inner gap is more obvious. Since becoming the deputy of the second team, plus Yoruichi is the pursued target. Therefore, what Sui Feng values most is the practice of Shunpo 340. Ling Yun, who has devoted herself to practicing for many years, but was enlisted in the team for a few days, teased herself in front of Yoruichi. This kind of result is like a nuclear bomb, completely blasting into the bottom of Sui Feng's heart. Miss Sui Feng, the reason why you are willing to challenge is because you are completely unaware of the gap that exists between us. Ling Yun held up the death scythe in his hand. In order to make the attack more thorough, he did not intend to show mercy. Ling Yun knew very well in his heart that the best way to deal with Sui Feng's cold outside and hot inside personality with a bit of arrogance was to conquer her with absolute strength. If it doesn't work once, do it again. No matter how stubborn Sui Feng's character is, he can't stand repeated setbacks, and there will always be a day when he lets go of his guard. Now is a great opportunity. In normal times, Ling Yun's words would definitely cause dissatisfaction. But this time Sui Feng was speechless and couldn't find any reason to refute. What upset her the most was not only the result of the failure, but also Yoruichi's gaze from the sidelines. My most dejected side was forced to be exposed in front of Yoruichi-sama. This helpless feeling is really terrible. At the same time, while Sui Feng was in a daze, Ling Yun had already accumulated his familiarity with Ryatsu on Yan Mo's blade. Scimitar slash. No fancy tricks. Ling Yun swung the death scythe, accumulated Ryatsu on the blade, and slashed forward. Clatter. The silent death black light surged like a tide. A slash in the shape of a crescent moon, almost to the point of substance, fell heavily on the thick floor. One must know that the place where the duel is held is just an ordinary field. Without the barrier of the murderous aura stone, even the boundary-breaking barrier set up in advance is still as fragile as a piece of tofu in the face of the bloody aura emanating from Yan Mo. Just one knife. The vast ground collapsed in an instant, accompanied by a large number of broken stones, and spider web-like cracks flew around. If you look down in the air, it looks like a huge spider web, just like the scene when an earthquake strikes. No way. Ling Yun's slash is so strong. Yoruichi, who was watching the show outside the venue, suddenly let out an exclamation when he saw the scene in front of him. She stood up subconsciously, and after glancing around, her face suddenly became serious. Not only this training ground, but even other areas of Shihouin's mansion were more or less affected, with varying degrees of damage. In other words, Ling Yun's full-level scimitar slashing technique almost blows up the entire mansion. Isn't this too exaggerated? I haven't seen you for a while, and Ling Yun is already so strong. Yoruichi's beautiful eyes sparkled, and he couldn't help but exclaim. Even if Ling Yun's scimitar cutting technique was stronger than hers, she felt a strong threat. The improvement of the full level of skills, and the extra bonus of talents, plus the reason of the evil spirit attached. Even a captain-level Shinigami may not be able to bear it. Such a large-scale destruction, I'm going to pay for it now. Omeda Nozomi observed for a while, and a bitter smile suddenly appeared on his face. The local tyrants belong to the local tyrants. Although Omeda Nozomi is very rich, it does not mean that wealth is brought by strong winds. With the size and scale of the Shihouin mansion, I want to renovate it from top to bottom. Nozomi made a rough calculation. This time I'm afraid he's going to bleed a lot. Master Yoruichi, Brother Ling Yun gave me a surprise when we met for the first time. Shihouin laughed wryly at himself. Tisk tisk tisk, with your financial resources, isn't this kind of expense nothing? After a short period of shock, Yoruichi returned to her original appearance. She chuckled with great interest. Notion, how about this? I suddenly have an idea. What? Shihouin frowned slightly. He always felt that something was not quite right. Nozomi, that precious son of yours seems to be called Omeda too? That's right, his name is Marichio, and he's being trained at home now. That's fine. Yoruichi's eyes flickered with cunning, and he deliberately looked at Ling Yun in the field. My brother's strength is obvious to all. Why don't you let him be Omeda's tutor from today? Family teacher? Shihouin's eyes suddenly burst into a bright light. Since it is more than 100 years ago, the Ome god in this time period is only a young child. Since he did not meet the age limit and his strength was not qualified, he also entered the Zhenyang Ling Yun Academy to practice. Under such a premise, Yoruichi's proposal is very tempting. Well, isn't that a good proposal? From Nozomi's facial expression, Yoruichi knew that he had succeeded in convincing the other party. Master Yoruichi, I will naturally not object to the proposal you mentioned. I am afraid that brother Ling Yun. Omeda looked into the field, showing a worried expression. Don't worry, based on what I know about Ling Yun, he will definitely readily agree, Yoruichi assured. In fact, she was just quick talking for a while. This proposal was just a whim in 1.6, and Ling Yun was not discussed in advance. As for whether Ling Yun will agree, Yoruichi is really not sure. But, even if Ling Yun agrees, he won't come to the door right away, because I have to make other arrangements. Yoruichi then remembered another thing. Using Ultimate Shunpo, she instantly arrives at the training ground. Sister Yoruichi. Ling Yun greeted them head-on. Ling Yun, my sister is very satisfied with your performance this time. In front of Soi Fon, Yoruichi took the initiative to praise. Her words were like a heavy hammer, hitting the little cutie's heart directly. Master Yoruichi. Soi Fon remained silent on the spot. She watched Yoruichi silently, clenched her fists quietly, with obvious jealousy in her eyes. The almost morbid psychology of worship made her almost go crazy. Chapter 99 Shiba is in charge, Ling Yun. Let's end this duel, I think Lil Sui Feng will agree. When Yoruichi said these words, he deliberately glanced at Sui Feng to observe the mood of his little follower. Sister Yoruichi, of course I have no objection. Ling Yun spread her hands leisurely. Being able to play Sui Feng again to make this iceberg beauty suffer, Ling Yun has achieved his desired goal. As for Sui Feng's mood, I love it. Sui Feng, what about you? Yoruichi then looked at Sui Feng. Master Yoruichi, I have no objection. Sui Feng seemed to have scalded his tongue, and his speech became stammered. She didn't even dare to look up, and looked directly into Yoruichi's eyes, blushing and shy, just like a docile cat. That's fine. I'm still worried about your emotional instability. This is just a friendly duel. I hope you don't care too much about the result. Yoruichi gave verbal comfort like a big sister next door. Thank you Yoruichi-sama for your encouragement. Sui Feng blushed and tightly clenched her little hands. This fidgeting look made Ling Yun stunned. As for, this is exactly the rhythm of bending. Even though he knew 11 in advance, but after seeing it with his own eyes, Ling Ku was still shocked. WTF. No. In order to prevent her own Yoruichi from being bent, Ling Yun secretly set a goal and decided to solve the problem from the root. Make sure to straighten Sui Feng. Okay. Let's get down to business now. I have other things to discuss with you. Seeing the matter come to an end, Yi Shi took advantage of the opportunity to mention another matter. What is so serious? Ling Yun sensed something unusual from Yoruichi's expression. The Shiba family, one of the 4 great aristocrats, you should have heard of it a long time ago. Yoruichi looked at Ling Yun seriously and said. Shiba Kong, Shiba Ganju, I met once a few months ago. Ling Yun nodded noncommittally. In that competition for the strongest younger brother, he defeated the Green Turban neatly, and successfully won the reward of the random mission. But since then, we have never seen each other again. Now that Yoruichi suddenly mentioned it, Ling Yun recalled it. Kakuzuru and Ganju, besides these two, there is another member of the Shiba main family, you should be familiar with it. Yoruichi continued the topic. Sister Yoruichi, are you referring to Shiba Kaiyan? Ling Yun's eyes lit up instantly. Shiba Kaiyan is the most outstanding genius of Soul Society in recent decades. The nobles of Shiba, who were originally unsuccessful, once again had the hope of revitalization because of his birth. At least before Ling Yun became famous, Shiba Kaiyan was sought after by many Shinigami because of his outstanding appearance and amazing talent. He is also one of the hot topic figures. That's right, what I want to talk about is Kaiyan. Yoruichi's face was full of excitement, and he had already betrayed his inner thoughts. Ling Yun, are you interested in him? I'm not interested in it, but if I have the opportunity to meet him, I'd be happy to make friends with him. Ling Yun responded bluntly. The 4th Division and the 13th Division, the team buildings are far apart, and ordinary Shinigami soldiers and officers hardly move around at will. Even the captain and adjutant will only have the chance to meet each other when they attend the captain's regular meeting. Under such a premise, and in the few days since joining the team, Ling Yun naturally couldn't see Shiba Kaiyan. Of course, he is equally interested in this genius. Hey, now's your chance, Yoruichi raised an eyebrow suggestively.
Sister Yoruichi, what do you mean? Are you going to arrange for me to meet Shiba Kaiyan? Ling Yun forced a smile. My dear sister, please be a human being. This just got Soi Fon cutie, and now I plan to find Shiba Kaiyan.
Please. The holidays are only a few days away. Can you give me a chance to be a salted fish with peace of mind?
That's right, you're all geniuses, wouldn't it be a pity if you didn't see the above? Yoruichi continued to fan the flames.
I'm afraid it's not just as simple as meeting. Ling Yun almost rolled his eyes. Based on what he knew about Yoruichi, there must be some cats hidden in this matter. Tisk tisk tisk, are you excited? Yoruichi came to Ling Yun and resorted to a trick of touching his head. Ling Yun, don't ask so many questions, you will know when we meet. I go. Are you getting into a mystery? Ling Yun shook his eyebrows, staggered and almost couldn't stand still. Yoruichi has too many show routines, which are often hard to guard against. The most classic of these is turning into a black cat, and then appearing at some point, turning into a human and molesting each other. This is Yoruichi's favorite prank. As her younger brother, Ling Yun has also been tricked and molested by Yoruichi more than once. But well, Ling Yun said that it is really fragrant, he is looking forward to such pranks, the more times the better. Seeing this scene, Sui Fon, who was standing by the side, tugged at the hem of his clothes in disappointment. Yoruichi's head touch killing has always been something she expected, but it never happened. This shit is too outrageous. Ling Yun observed secretly, he really felt overwhelmed by Sui Feng's performance. It seems that if you want to straighten Sui Feng, it is not a matter of a day or two, you must be prepared for a protracted battle. The next day, Jingling Court, the 13th team's team building. Captain's office. Team leader, you called me over in such a hurry, what's the matter? A hearty voice broke the original tranquility. The owner of this voice is a man with short black hair, dark smoky blue eyes, the family crest of the Shiba family on his left wrist, and a unique, cracked falling vortex 677 tied. Tattoos. If Ling Yun was present and saw this man's face, he would definitely blurt out, chicken? That's right. The man who hurried into the team room. It is the head of the Shiba family, a genius who is well known in Jinglingting. The current vice captain of the 13th division. Shiba Kaiyan. Kaiyan, here you come, let's see who this is. With waterfall-like white hair hanging down around his waist, Jashiro Yukitaki's complexion was pale, and he seemed weak even to speak. Although he holds the position of captain, but because of his weak constitution, he can't handle team affairs for a long time, so Shiba Kaiyan can only handle it. To some extent, Gotei 13th division is mainly run by Shiba Kaiyan alone. This is. Shiba Kaiyan followed his gaze and looked towards the sofa, his expression immediately became weird. Yi, Yoruichi, why did you come here suddenly? Shiba Kaiyan does not use a team name. After all, Shihouin and Shiba are family friends from generation to generation, and they have a close relationship in private. So there is no such thing as politeness. Tisk tisk, Kaiyan, I haven't seen you for a while, but you are getting more and more competent. Yoruichi sat on the sofa with a cup of hot tea in his hand. The reason why I came to Team 13 today is to ask you for a favor. Yoruichi drank the hot tea in the cup and directly revealed his purpose. Chapter 100 False Genius, True Genius. Kaiyan, the reason why I came here today is mainly to ask you for a favor, Yoruichi said with a familiar smile without any captain airs. Yoruichi, I don't feel that simple, it's not like your style. Shiba Kaiyan was always on the defensive. In the past years, he has been tricked more than once, so he subconsciously thinks that Yoruichi is going to trick himself again. Tisk tisk tisk, I haven't seen you for a while, but you are much more rigorous. Yoruichi teased with great interest. As expected of the adjutant of the 13th division. There is a good way to react in a crisis, what is it? Shiba Kaiyan scratched his hair and looked at Yoruichi with obvious vigilance. If you have nothing to do, you have to be on guard. At this time, Jashiro Yukitaki on the side became an accomplice. Captain Yoruichi, if you have anything to say, just say it, he will definitely not refuse the seaweed that can help. Hey. Knowing that this was a trap, he pushed the adjutant into the fire pit. Whose captain are you? Shiba Kaiyan almost exploded, and immediately started, friendship interaction, in his heart. If it were someone else, he might just spit out the fragrance. Leader Jashiro is still sensible, so I won't be pretentious, just get straight to the point. Yoruichi simply crossed his legs. Seeing this carefree gesture, Shiba Kaiyan shook his head again and again. As expected of the strongest female man, she is really tough. Kaiyan, my brother Ling Yun, you should have heard of it, right? Yoruichi even only said the opening line, and her intentions were already guessed. Yoruichi, you're not going to let me have an invitation with your brother, are you? Shiba Kaiyan suddenly felt a little funny. He has heard about Ling Yun's deeds a long time ago, and he has some impressions to some extent. The first genius of Mao, the third seed of the fourth team and so on. As one of Jingling's topical characters, Ling Yun has enjoyed a high degree of topicality from the moment he joined the team. According to Shiba Kaien's understanding, Ling Yun has only been in the team for a few days. Although he has jumped to the 3rd seat, his qualifications are still very low. As the adjutant of the 13th division, he is already considered an old man. If Yoruichi's proposal is really followed, and Ling Yun has an invitational duel, it would be a bit bullying. So Shiba Kaien's first reaction was to reject Yoruichi. Kaien, we've known each other for so many years, don't you think you won't give me any face? Yoruichi seemed to see through his mind at a glance, and directly brought up a reason that he couldn't refuse. Shiba Kaien was speechless and silent. This is Yoruichi's most used trump card. Every time he is deceived, it is because he can't bear to refuse the other party. Kaien, actually, I think Captain Yoruichi's proposal is quite good. Jashiro Yukitake took a sip of hot tea, and suddenly began to persuade again. Captain Jashiro, you started. Shiba Kaien almost blew his hair. He had to sigh with emotion that a good temper like his own captain was often the first victim to be tricked. And Yoruichi was sure of this, so he brought Jashiro Yukitake on the scene. Shiba Kaien wanted to refuse at first, but swallowed halfway through his words. In desperation, he touched his nose and could only grit his teeth and agree. Hey, let me explain in advance. Don't expect me to do too many things. At most, I will give you some symbolic pointers. The 13th squad still has a lot of team affairs to deal with. Shiba Kaien took the lead in emphasizing it, lest Yoruichi have more demands later. Yoruichi cleared his throat and chuckled with satisfaction. Success, Kaien, I just need your advice. It's that simple? Shiba Kaien is skeptical. Yoruichi smiled, pointed to Shiba Kaien's girdle, and continued. Your Zanpakutō Nejibana is one of the best flowing water Zanpakutō. I hope you can teach Ling Yun a good lesson. Have a good lesson? Shiba Kaien felt a little funny when he heard this. Why does it sound like a bully bullying elementary school students? Besides, you are brothers and sisters, is there such a thing as cheating on your younger brother? Well, it's not a big problem, right? You are one of the most outstanding talents in jingling, so this kind of trivial matter should not bother you. Yoruichi deliberately resorted to aggressive methods. In fact, Yoruichi didn't come to him for no reason because of a whim. She deliberately chose Shiba Kaien because of the opponent's strength, which can be regarded as the ceiling among the vice captains and the best benchmark for measuring combat power. In this day's service, Soi Fon has not yet grown up, the team's vice captain, and there is no outstanding character. After much deliberation, Yoruichi still thinks that Shiba Kaien is the most suitable. In addition, Yoruichi also thought about it, that is, both of them have a halo of genius. True geniuses, false geniuses. This contest between geniuses is undoubtedly more confident eyeballs. Time and location? Shiba Kaien didn't hesitate anymore, and was finally completely convinced. Why don't we just stay here? The 13th division is always quiet, and it won't cause too much noise, Yoruichi immediately suggested. Captain Jashiro, what do you think? I don't have any objections. You two can discuss this matter. Jashiro Yukitake showed an easygoing side. Okay, just behind the team building, there's a big open space, let's do it there. Shiba Kaien nodded. Although he also has the identity of the Four Nobles, but because of the decline of the Shiba family, he grew up in Rukongai since he was a child. Therefore, Shiba Kaien has been familiar with things like provocative duels since he was a child, and he can basically deal with them freely. Tisk tisk tisk, I'm sure I'm not mistaken. I'll see your performance in the afternoon. You must frustrate Ling Yun. Yoruichi, Hao Nuo Jiao, gave a rare and solemn warning. In her opinion, no matter how strong Ling Yun is, it will not be a match against Shiba Hai. Suffering a little loss is a good thing for future growth after all. I'll finish it off. Shiba Kaien understood and read Yoruichi's eyes. As the head of Shiba, he used to strictly demand his younger brother Ganju in the same way. Unfortunately, things backfired. The Green Turban has no ambitions, instead of becoming a Shinigami, he becomes a gangster. Shiba Kaien feels dizzy whenever he thinks of his incompetent younger brother. Then it's a happy decision. Yoruichi got up and walked outside, feeling very comfortable. A contest between geniuses, because of his bridging and matchmaking, is about to start in the 13th squad. False genius, real genius. This is a battle for the proof of the strongest genius.